Okay, so today is Tuesday the 26th, and it's been a while since I kind of did a diary entry. Just been really busy, but these are important, and so I'm now going to try to jump back to the youth so you can understand the foundation of these murder operations, kill operations, whatever you want to call them. That's what they really are. They're how do I remove someone from society in such a way that it's clean and dirty, or clean and neat, and we get what we want? It looks like the guy just went crazy and something really bad happened to him. He died. He ended up in a jail cell or mental institution or whatever. How can I do this, right? Now, the police play these games like, oh, well, if someone doesn't physically attack you, then it's not a crime. You have to be physically touched. Well, that's the biggest bullshit known to man, and the police damn well know it. There's no such thing that states only crimes involve physically touching people, right? There's a whole slew of crimes, ranging from all sorts of whatever, all sorts of different levels that don't involve touch. Fraud is one of them. Theft, putting poison in someone's food, things like this are all crimes, and there's 100 million of them like that don't involve physically touching someone. So whenever I met with daily mass groups stalking and following me to have me killed or removed from society, well, isn't removing someone from society a crime? You destroy their lives and you inflicted pain and bad things happened as a result of someone premeditatedly with motive getting together with mass groups saying, I'm going to kill this guy. Premeditation and motive. I'm going to make this guy lose all of his jobs and starve in the street and die, but I didn't physically touch him. Well, the LAPD out here and connected worldwide, when it comes to Kevin Perelman, will all stay. Killing Kevin Perelman is okay, but of course, the next person that comes in, they'll say it's wrong, right? Instantly showing a conspiracy and motive to kill, or rid of the world. Now, the cops aren't allowed to rid people of the world they don't like, or you're not allowed to jail people you don't like, based on hate. That is why we have a judicial system. The judicial system and police are not about I like you or don't like you or hate you or your kind can't exist normally. The police system, or you choose the job I want you to choose, which has nothing to do with legal or illegal, right? There's no such thing. That's not what the judicial system is about. The judicial system is about crimes and crimes only. And for the judicial system to run around saying, that guy's crazy, so we're going to hunt him down, kill him, and not help him, that is the largest crime known to man, because someone who is actually crazy has enough problems to begin with without people saying, I'm going to kill this person. Hence these elaborate operations since 5 years old. Kevin's crazy, we're going to kill him or rid him of the world. Or like my brother said, me and my friends are going to put you in a mental institution. Actually, he didn't say it directly. He said, me and my friends put a teacher in a mental institution. Now we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to everything you do on the radio. And first let me say, why did my brother tell me that at around 14? What was my brother's thought process when he was telling me this with his friends? Well, not only did this happen after I stopped him from bashing Greg Waugh's skull in with a crowbar, and then him giving me the mobster blood is thicker than water speech after that, like, I'm testing you to see if you'll kill for me or spy for me or things like this. And I said no, I chose all the correct answers that anyone would, 98% of the world would say, but yet my family and my brother got mad because I didn't choose the side of like thugging and murdering and killing people, right? Which is very strange. And you have to sort of analyze the situation and try to figure out why my family would want me to think that it's normal to hunt down and kill people or thug people or spy on people when it's not. Like, based on, I'm trying to get you to do something on pure pressure. Okay, so now, tonight's topic which is a very good topic and a very needed topic and a very prudent topic, is radios and music. And sorry, I'm looking at some slow walker on a crosswalk. Radios and music. So, and I'm going to talk more about the radio aspect and link into the music. Because there's so much with music being done to me for the last 40 years to try to make me look crazy. I'm going to start with the radios, sort of expand out into music, because obviously radios play music, so that you can understand where I'm coming from and what's going on. Okay, so the topic is radios and music. Now, this is probably going to be fairly short because I'm going to get food and I'm going to Casa de Taco or whatever, and the Hispanics are going to start harassing me for buying food, trying to play this game like whatever, who knows. They're going to try to link it to racial or Mexican or I'm crazy. Things that nobody cares about, right? Whether I'm crazy or not, people want to sit there attacking them in rage over and over all day and night since 5 years old, going, you're crazy, you need to die because you're crazy. It's unheard of. But anyways, so I'm going to get food, and this isn't going to last long. This segment or whatever is going to be cut short, and I'll continue after. But okay, so radios. Let's start. Let's not go into music yet. Let's start with the radio. Now, like I said before, the big thing with my brother at 14 or something was me and my friends put a teacher in a mental institution, and we're listening to everything you do on the radio. Now, who says things like that, right? The first question you gotta ask, and sorry about the bird's nest of wires here, it's kind of a wiring nightmare. Who says things like that, and more importantly, why? What is the reasoning for this weird, strange questioning where you're looking at your brother like, what the fuck? But there's nothing you can really do about it. What are you going to do? Go to the police and say my brother said that he put it... Right? They're going to look at you like, okay, whatever. Go back to school. Okay, go to school, learn some things. Right? That's what they're going to tell you. So anyways, why was my brother saying that? The big why. Well, the why is important because, well, my brother was a nut job with his friends, doing all his rebellious things and all his road rage shit, his thugging and bullying to me, and trying to feel like an important, good person. He's scum and trash. He's the lowest form of scum and trash that exists. And like the rest of my family, he tries to put on a important face and look like a good person. Hey, I'm a urologist, I'm special, and I have a secondary psychology degree, so I'm a good person. It's allowed to go out and kill people that I don't like. Right? You get it? Just because you're born white collar or have an education does not make you a good person. It can actually make you a more dangerous person than the street thug crimes. Right? Now remember, they all have psychology degrees. They use them as weapons to control or torture or rid people of the world, and then they sort of pose as my father posing as an orthopedic surgeon, and my brother posing as a urologist that likes to hunt down and kill people, using their education and degrees, if that makes sense, right? Okay, so why? The first thing you might want to ask is, where's my brother getting these ideas, right? Where is he getting the ideas with all of his friends and all of my friends to try to flip me out, make me look crazy, defame my name, and launch worldwide campaigns to kill me? Where's he getting these ideas? Well, he's not getting them from movies, I assure you of that. And all these people aren't helping because they watched a movie, I can assure you of that. They're getting it from people with psychology degrees from high above, right? Meaning that my father and my family are telling him to do these things. That's the point I'm getting to. that he is being given, I don't want to use the word orders, but he's being peer pressured into taking part in crimes to remove Kevin Perelman, his younger brother, from society. And being the way things are worded, he's taking part and he's doing it. Reasons I can't comprehend, but he is now involved with a worldwide campaign to have me killed starting at 5 years old. And I'm here at Casa de Tacos, and now they're going to start in on me. I can guarantee it, like usual, was every other place in the world. So let it be known that these are like Jew hater stalkers, his kind can't exist types. They've been stalking me since 5 years old, and they will say or make up any excuse they can to make what they're doing look justified. And so after I get some food, I'll have some energy and be right back. As I only see 2 cars in this lot in pairs backwards, I guarantee in about 15-20 minutes when I leave here, half the lot's going to be filled up with cars directed at me with mental illness tactics and things like that. So I'll be back in a few. Okay, so I'm done eating, and a quick recap. I did on my other camera of things that happened. As I was there, as I arrived, 3 cars backwards together, all gray, the rest of the lot forward. Guy in red car instantly shows up, parks his car forward, asking if I touched his car with a old news hat that I wore in around 2010 or something. They're not really called news hats. I just refer to that because in like the 40s or something, people wore those hats, and you see them sometimes, and they're kind of cool hats. And they didn't like me. That was another one of my crime, is wearing clothing or hats that my family doesn't approve of. Therefore, I ruined my father's life because I wore a cool, nostalgic hat that you see people wear from time to time, with my father hunting me down with the news companies and organizations. Just like my father says, giving him a watch for his birthday is also a crime, right? He's just a fucking psychopath. Okay, so anyways, you're starting to understand that anything you do around my family results in your death. You buy him a birthday present, you wear a green shirt around him, you wear a red shirt around him, you wear an orange shirt around him, you wear a blue shirt around him. They are all crimes, right? And they hunt you down and try to kill you over these things that nobody could care less about, meaning you are not safe from them, right? And then you walk away from them, and they keep coming after you as strangers, right? Which really shows their motives and agendas. Okay, but anyways, back to the point. 3 gray cars backwards. Guy instantly shows up following me, 1 red car backwards. There's a gold Aerostar there. Right after I order the food, a white Aerostar parks in the handicap spot by the gold Aerostar. Right? 2 Aerostars in pairs together. At that point, 3 gray Explorers show up. 3 gray Explorers, Ford Explorers show up, and one guy trying to leverage himself over me, asking me if I touched his car. A lawyer Jonathan Franklin discussion we had around 2012, 2013, some from Dincy arrests, stalking me with his "you don't talk or we kill you or lock you away," with his partner, Officer Jensen. And the reason they chose Jensen had to do with Jen Hess they sent after me to have me killed, which they're so desperately trying to cover up with Mike Huntley. And when I say Jen Hess hunting me down to kill me, it wasn't with the gun in her purse. It was the psychological setup and frame job operations to try to make it look like I'm crazy and doing things to people to rid them of the world, known as gang stalking, to cover up what they started in on me at 5 years old. So they'll have women come in my life, pretend they're crazy, pretend that I made them crazy, to justify, look what Kevin did, now we're all going to get together and kill him, right? Now remember, these tactics switch and change from thing to thing since 5 years old. Anyways, there were a few other things. The Normally it's different employees. This time, I see like the same guy for the last 10 years working on me, calling me friend over and over and provoking me in different ways. This time it was completely different employees, and they were very friendly, except he put a lime on one of the carnitas, and they never do that. And the reason had to do with every time Lorena Escobar, my father, would take me to sushi, she would order 2 lime rolls, trying to hint that I did something wrong, something about lime. Who knows, lime, dead body, I can't tell you. Anyways, the connection, right? Lorena Escobar paid off to have me killed by my father when my father hired her at 16, when I was 16. You get the idea. All these things are kind of linking, and they all go back to my father's office, except the problem is that this starts at 5 years old and it's worldwide, and it's been every person I've ever had contact with since 5 years old. Okay, so, you know, the Lorena Escobar, I hate Jews and I hate his kind, whatever she means by that. It's just a justification for her hunting me down to have me killed, paid off by my father, which I haven't even been in that company. It's been like 2 or 3 years since they fired my father, fired me because he knew I wasn't going to shut up about the mass murder operations to have me killed, which is strange because loving fathers don't generally support murder operations to kill their son. Hence the lime. And other places recently ordering food, they're putting, the Persian place put lime, I think, in the dolme, right? They put 2 limes in the dolme, going from restaurant to restaurant. Now remember that Lorena Escobar made a statement to me, it's what I'm up to in my own home, claiming that I've committed some crime of insane magnitudes, when there is nothing I've done in my home. I don't know what that means. Did I build an atomic bomb and blow up a football stadium? There's nothing I've done in my home except her not wanting me to breathe and involved in privacy violations since 1994, since the internet came around, for the sole purpose to hunt me down and have me killed and try to make it look justified, if that makes sense. I think he's doing this, so we're going to kill him. I think he's doing that, so we're going to kill him. Well, the only one that's committed a crime is everyone else but me. I have the constitutional rights to have the privacy to be safe from psychopaths paid off to have me killed by trying to get whatever dirt they want to use against me. That's the whole reason we have the Constitution and these privacy rights. That's the whole reason Edward Snowden came forward. Okay, so I don't want to get too sidetracked. I want to kind of end the Casa de Tacos restaurant, but I think it's pretty important that you understand the types of things that are done to me at every place in the world with mass groups following me around. I think this, I think that, I don't trust you, are all things that don't apply to anyone else in society. Example, how many people do you know, if I walked up to you and I said, I don't trust you, so am I allowed to kill you? Of course not. Well, in Kevin Perelman's life, starting at 5, we don't trust you, we're going to kill you, with the police, government, NSA, FBI, you name it, has been going on. And at 29, when I found out, we're going to kill you for what you found out. Okay, so anyways, radio. And trust me, when I'm talking about privacy here, radio and music, tonight's topic, will apply to what I'm talking about with Casa de Tacos, Lorena Escobar. My father did flat out admits he tracks my little brother Shane on his GPS on his phone. You're going to understand how intentionally violating privacy to create mental illness, to kill people, is what my family's doing. And when I talk about radio and music, you're going to understand the connection and relationship between music and my father paying off people to hack into my computer to try to create mental illness, wanting me to work in his office so he could put in the same office building with Mike Huntley so he could put my computer network on the same switch as the Golden State. I'm gonna need some water. As the Golden State Network switch, so they can put spyware onto the computer, things like this, right? Now, why is he doing it? Because he wants to create mental illness. He wants to create paranoia. He wants to create schizophrenia, or make it look like that. Okay, so back to the radio. 14 years old. Now remember, this starts at 5, but I'm jumping to the radio, where I think the radio thing starts. 14 years old. I start working out. I get into weightlifting. 14 years old. I buy a cheap barbell set with weights, and I start lifting in the den of our house. Back then you had boom boxes, right? And ghetto blasters, boom boxes, whatever you want to call them. So in the den I had a ghetto blaster with my heavy metal music. I listened to a little bit heavier music than my brother. I listened to like Dokken, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Journey, Foreigner, Don McLean, American Pie. Everyone knows I love Don McLean, American Pie, which seems to be a crime. Damn Yankees is a big one. I'll get into Damn Yankees, how I'm somehow a white supremacist for listening to Damn Yankees, and I'm also a danger to myself or other with Guns N' Rose bushes because I listen to Guns N' Roses, right? Things that don't make any sense, right? But remember, this is about propaganda to the world. So those in charge of the internet-based information systems to tell the world lies on a daily basis about me and stop me from talking about the truth are based on fabrications all day and night to stop me from ever talking and to create enough chaos in my life to kill me or rid me of the world. Okay, so we have a kid. All he does is go out jogging or running to build up his cardio. That's weird and unheard of. Never heard of anyone that went jogging or running. That's totally weird and crazy. Maybe to a fat cow that never gets off the fucking couch. Okay, and he buys a weightlift set at 14 and starts bench pressing and doing what he can that a 14-year-old can. And I remember I had books from different weightlifting routine books. Schwarzenegger book, of course, because Schwarzenegger was the man back then. And that's it. Nothing crazy, nothing weird, nothing out of the norm. Maybe it's out of the norm to someone who's a lazy ass that doesn't take initiative in their life, but that's not weird to the common person. I mean, if you're telling me that gyms don't exist and people don't go to gyms, I've never heard anything like that, especially with the amount of gyms I've seen and the amount of cars at them all day and night. So why was I run out of the gym for going 4 times a week at 29? That Mike Huntley wanted to introduce me to Rody Morales, the guy working with LAPD, to tell the world I killed someone and take me to strip clubs, the 4th person from 20 to 30 to take me to strip clubs on these frame jobs, and I'm stalking and hunting women and strippers. And Rody Morales wanting to take me to strip clubs, working with Victoria Walker on these frame jobs with all these internet tools and people working together in a mass conspiracy. And then told that I have OCD by my stepfather, Arnold Silver, because I go to the gym. It wasn't directly said, it was hinted. I went to the gym at 29, 4 days a week, and so I have OCD. I have gym OCD. Well, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever had. First of all, even if I did have gym OCD, that's like the healthiest thing in the world, right? I mean, most of the people at the gym I knew or were there went 7 days a week. So why didn't they have OCD, gym OCD, right? Okay, you get the idea, right? All of these things make no sense other than to feed me disinformation, to make me think that hunting me down, I deserve to be hunted and killed. Okay. So, whatever. I mean, this is things I never thought I'd be talking about. I'm 14 years old, I have I'm weightlifting every day, and I'm listening to music while working out. Now, if that sounds strange to anyone, then I say, you're strange and don't come near me. Okay? Because I don't want some weird closet dweller that's afraid of things like going to gyms or working out or being healthy near me. Because I don't want to be endangered by some nut job that thinks lifting weights is somehow a crime, or being healthy is a crime, or is mental illness, right? Okay. So, around this time is when my brother threatened my life. It's hard to know the exact timing. No, 16 is when my brother went after Greg Waugh with a crowbar, because Jen Yang broke up with my brother, and my brother found out that Jen was cheating on him with Greg Waugh. He wanted me to spy on Jen and Greg for him. I told him I wanted no part of that insanity. He gave me the blood is thicker than water speech, this mobster speech, how I should have told him that Greg was cheating on Jen, or Jen was cheating on him and this and that, while he's off at University of Colorado with this long-distance relationship thing that can't work anyways. While he's telling me that Greg's a good guy and Jen should hang out with him, which is very strange. And after that, I don't even know. My friends had suspicion because in Tom Hoke's station wagon, they said like they think Greg might have been kissing Jen in a station wagon, in Tom Hoke's station wagon. I wasn't even there. Some kind of like seed planting. And my brother expected me to follow Greg around and Jen around and like try to report everything that's going on as if I'm like his slave, his spy slave. And when he found out that I was off living my own life and I didn't want any part of his fucking immature stupidity and his road rage stupidity and all his shit with his I swerve and hit people at random on his license plate frames and putting crowbars and baseball bats in the back, going out, doing their havoc shit with their cars and their little CBs ganging up on people in their cars. When I was the complete opposite, I wanted to build cool, fast cars and read Hot Rod magazines and go to Kevin's Burgers, which I didn't know. They were trying to make me look schizo. And be around creative, positive things. They got mad, like your common murdering mobster wants you to kill with them. And so that's what we're seeing with his blood is thicker than water speech and this and that. How I should spy on Greg and I should not stop him from bashing Greg's skull in with crowbars and things like this. Mr. Good Orthopedic Surgeon, right? Okay, so, and I'm just going to throw this in quickly. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care if you're a stripper, you're a porn star, you're a police officer, you're FBI, you're NSA. Your uniform does not define you. A stripper, a porn star is not a criminal. A police officer is not always a good person. The President of the United States isn't always a good person, like most of them. My point is, it is not about your social status. It is not about what you do for a living, unless what you do for a living is illegal, like Colombian drug cartel. Okay, that's different. But we're not talking about legal versus illegal. We're talking about different social groups. Porn stars are not committing crimes. There is no law. Porn is completely legal. Stripping is completely legal. Prostitution, well, that's illegal in the United States, but it's legal in Amsterdam or other countries. My point. My family with Mike Huntley. Don't associate with those people. Well, what does Mike Huntley mean by those people? Right? Mike Huntley, don't associate with those people, being strippers, porn stars, building adult websites, yada, 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 because those people are all criminals in Mike Huntley's mind, being paid off to tell me that. My point is, it is not, being a porn star does not make you a criminal. Killing people, if you're a porn star killing people and stealing their money, yeah, then you're a criminal. But that applies to everyone. That applies to orthopedic surgeons like my father who want to put on I'm a good person face when he's the worst of the worst, right? That applies to my brother, which is a urologist. Well, everyone thinks of doctors with MDs as good people, right? Well, my brother's a murderer. My father's a murderer. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that strippers and porn stars are like Mother Teresa's to my family, and I can guarantee you that most of them are probably really good people, except when they're converted to kill Kevin Perelman. It's a whole nother issue. But my point is, if I wasn't in the equation, most of these strippers and porn stars would be really good people, or adult website builders, or this or that. Because what my point is, it is not your uniform that defines you. We got Officer Sean Dinsey running around with sending Rody Moraleses after me to have me killed, paying off Jen Hess to have me killed, paying off the Julia Sophia Reynosos to have me killed, right? Working on me in 1994 with my brother and the government to have me killed, with my brother introducing me to the internet so they could rile up the world against me, right? Okay, so I think I've made my point clear about your actions define you and not what you do for a living. Okay, so now, back to 16, the blood is thicker than water, speech by my brother, you helped me kill, you helped me do all my havoc shit. No, I don't want any part of your shit, right? I'm growing up. I got some maturity at 16. I'm not a fucking brainless idiot like my brother who's told by his parents to do things to people. And I'm not going to take part in shit like that. So I'm off doing positive things like building cool cars and shit like this. Okay. Which they sent every person known to man. Brian Weaver, Tom Hoke, Tom Farley, Mike Huntley, all of them after me to stop me from being a good, positive, creative person to accomplish things in life. Okay, so, once again, I'm going to repeat it. We put a teacher in a mental institution. Me and my friends put a teacher in a mental institution, and we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to you, everything you do on the radio. Why? What is the reason? Why is my brother so mad at me? Because he's trying to help me? Yeah, right, okay, sure. Why is he so mad at me? Well, I just gave you the why he's so mad at me, because I'm not part of his murdering pack. And this murdering pack we're talking about is what? 2% of society? The mafia, and some small groups that kill people, right? A very small sect in society. Most people are out with family and kids doing things to accomplish things in life, like go to college, get jobs, meet women, have relationships, start businesses, work for companies to make money so that they can do things in life other than work and have part of life, take part in life. And so what I'm saying is the people that say blood is thicker than water, kill for me and things like that is a very minute part of society. So when I bump into person after person worldwide saying you're a whistleblower, it's like being in the Twilight Zone, right? Okay, so anyways, and And that's really where we start going to the government and psychology community cover-up operations. I don't want to get into this here. I got into that last segment. Okay, so we're listening to everything you do on the radio. Think about that statement and think about his reasoning and the whys behind his statements. I think I mentioned it about an hour ago before getting food. If you're walking around going, I can't do anything because my brother and his friends are listening to me on the radio with a bug in my room, you look completely paranoid. If I was, first of all, if at 16 when my brother said this, right? If I actually believed his fucking babbling, his weird babbling, and I went to the police and I said, LAPD, my brother has a bug in his room and he's listening to me on the radio, the LAPD would have said, that Kevin guy's fucking crazy. We got to check him into a mental institution, right? The reverse psychology. Think about it. Right? They're trying to get me to say things that look crazy so that they can use people against me with like the police, except the problem is that the police already know what's going on and they're part of it. As you've seen with the Sean Dinsey cover-ups and Jensen. Okay, so that is his motive. Make Kevin look crazy. Put Kevin in a mental institution. Why? Because I'm crazy? Well, let's break that down. Let's say I'm crazy. Sure, I'm crazy. You know what? Do you know how many people per day say someone's crazy? Okay? The lawyer might say the car mechanic's crazy. The car mechanic might say the politician's crazy. Why? Because they're different, correct? The car mechanic builds cars for a living, and he can't understand what it's like to be a lying douchebag and get into politics, right? So the car mechanic is going to say the politician's crazy. The politician's going to say, well, the car mechanic doesn't make any money, and I make shitloads of money for lying and being a douchebag, so the car mechanic's crazy, right? My point is that everyone's different. Everyone's coming from different walks of life, okay? And not everyone meshes and not everyone gets along, but people all come from different places and they have reasons for doing different things, and everyone's different, okay? Everyone is different on a small level, okay? We all have 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. Most guys have dicks. Most chicks have vaginas. Whatever. We're all pretty much built the same, but mentally we do different things for reasons that others can't understand or just don't know because they come from different places. So, the term crazy is relative to who you are, right? Now, there are some people that are crazy, like their actions aren't based on factual or logical decisions. Example, there are people that actually go out and kill people for no reason. I'm not saying killing people is right, but what I'm saying is, let's say you're walking down the street and someone like my brother just starts bashing your skull in with a crowbar, and you don't know why the fuck he's bashing your skull in with a crowbar, because there's no fact or logic. Maybe you were walking down the street and you stepped on an acorn and he didn't like the sound and it triggered him and he bashed your skull in, right? So that would be crazy. Crazy. But, once again, crazy itself is not a crime. So my point is, let's say I'm crazy. Well, what is crazy? Am I crazy because Arnold Silver says that going to the gym 4 times a week is crazy? Okay, and? Kevin Perelman goes to the gym 4 times a week, so he's crazy. First of all, that doesn't make sense to me, and I have to say that statement of his to the world is fucking crazy. And telling the world shit like that all day and night about me is not only highly illegal, civilly, but crazy, right? Okay, so, but we're going to stick to Kevin's crazy. Kevin's crazy, and he harmlessly goes to the gym four times a week. So the police, NSA, FBI have to step in and lock him in jail cells or mental institutions, or get him to blow his brains out because we don't trust him because he's crazy. Okay, well, I can tell you, if that going to the gym 4 times a week is crazy, then 99.9% of the world is batshit crazier than me. Okay, but my point is that if you say going to the gym, I'm crazy because I go to the gym 4 times a week, and I'm crazy because at 14 to 16 I started running and jogging and lifting weights, and I'm crazy because a white collar boy here likes hot silicone tattooed big titted chicks that don't fit into cotillion or whatever, the shit that every fucking guy likes, they just won't admit it. If that is crazy, and you say I'm crazy, how am I hurting you or anyone else? How have I done anything wrong? But more importantly, the most important thing, does that justify hunting me down and killing me or ridding me of the world? I'm crazy. I'm a white collar boy that likes the darker side of life. Okay, I like some big titty chicks sucking me off and blowing my load across the fucking room. Let's just say it. Okay, whatever. So we're going to say Kevin's crazy because he goes to the gym, he works out, he listens to heavy metal instead of my brother's Jimmy Buffett all day, or my father's Frank Sinatra. I'm crazy because nobody listens to those bands like Guns N' Roses or Foreigner or Journey or anything like that. So I'm crazy, and we're going to put Kevin in the crazy category since 5 years old. Okay, so does that give the police the right to follow me from place to place, violating my internet since 1994, trying to get anything to use against me to have me hunted, killed, or locked away? Does that justify my brother and family trying to lock me in jail cells and mental institutions? And a bad driver here that almost hit me. Does that justify my brother and family putting me in jail cells and mental institutions, or trying to get me to blow my brains out because I'm crazy? Right? Do you understand where I'm coming from? There's no crime in crazy. Now, the fact that I'm sitting here on camera rambling this shit is absurd, that I even have to say the shit that everyone really knows is basically obviously true. But since this game of Kevin's crazy with worldwide support and we have to kill him is going on, I'm going to state the obvious on camera anyways. Okay, so Kevin is crazy, and he's harmless. He's never hurt a fly. He's accepted everyone, and I've done everything in my life to give and help and you name it in my crazy endeavor of being a really good person, not like the murderers I come from. And so once again, back to the argument, Kevin's crazy. Does that give the government and police and mass groups the right to hunt me down and kill me or exterminate me? Of course not, because crazy is not a crime. Crazy, different, unique, weird, right? We have the Aubrey Fisher, you've committed the weird crime, we're going to kill you, with the NSA, FBI, and police. Doesn't really make much sense. Don't fit the category of the police job description. Officer Dinsey, I'm here to keep the world a safe place by eradicating imperfection. Homeless people could be a threat to humanity, therefore we have to eradicate all homeless people. Don't homeless people have enough fucking problems? You understand what I'm saying? Some guy starving in the streets. oh, here comes Dincy. I think you might be crazy and a danger to society, so I'm going to bash your fucking skull in with a crowbar with Jason Perelman. You understand? Okay? That homeless person, whether they're crazy, whether they're talking to themselves, whatever, has nothing to do with Officer Sean Dincy, the LAPD, NSA, FBI, you name it, with their police scanner reports. Listen to their police scanner. Possible male with mental illness. Possible female with mental illness. Possible male with mental illness. What the fuck is the LAPD running around with possible mental illness? We're going to put you on watch lists and fucking eradicate. You have to do with crime. Nothing. That is what Adolf Hitler did in the 40s. World War II. You're not perfect. You are not the ultimate, what is it? You aren't the perfect, the ultimate human, and we want to keep the ultimate human beings and eradicate imperfection for society's sake or whatever. That is what Officer Sean Dincy has been doing and has been done to me my entire life. While them trying to make me look crazy with every lie known to man. Okay. So, this incredibly long, drawn-out point I'm making is, it is not the police's job to go after those they label crazy, because crazy is not a crime. The only thing that is a crime is a crime. Rape, pillage, theft, murder, blah, blah, blah. Those are crimes in a law book of crimes. Has nothing to do, your crazy has nothing to do with law. Your crazy has to do with psychology and labeling. Okay, my point. When LAPD is following you around, you have to go to a shrink so that we can find out whether you're crazy or not. Why? What fucking business is it of theirs if I'm crazy or not? Because they're going to have their own opinions no matter how sane I am. Right? I mean, right now I can go into my house and I could build the latest website, something that's never been done before, that can make millions of dollars, and they might say I'm crazy, and so I have to be locked up. Well, but there's no crime there. There's no criminal act, right? So they're not acting, the cops aren't acting rationally, they're acting with motive and intent. I don't like you, so I'm going to kill you. I don't like you, so I'm going to stop you from making money. I don't like you, and you better not tell anyone what we've done to your life, or we're going to kill you, or lock you away in jail cells or mental institutions, is what is going on. Okay, now, you can question the whys, who it's coming from, the motives. I'll leave that for different conversations and food for thought for you right now. But my point is, the crazy card doesn't mean jack shit. The crazy card is kind of like the cops telling you it's illegal to talk about your life, because if you talk about your life to someone, you're creating chaos, therefore you created an uproar in society, and that's a crime. Well, there's no fucking such crime as that. There's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. In the time of, it applies to everything, your ability to talk. But in the time of government tyranny, the First Amendment was put in place for just this. So the government can't have a monopoly of power. They cannot be a total dictatorship. That is the entire reason behind the First Amendment, and the government's been hunting me down since I found out at 29, and ramping up their attacks. You're not allowed to tell anyone about Kevin Perelman Target. Well, no, I am allowed to tell everyone about KevinPerelmanTarget.com, because the entire concept of the First Amendment is that if someone's putting me in harm's way, I'm sure as shit allowed to tell them, and for the cops to hunt me down with endless people saying you don't tell anyone or we kill you, says all anyone needs to know. Okay, so now I'm going on these tangents, but they're very important tangents. Back to the radio. Okay, so now I've pretty much established to you that my brother and family are working on the crazy card to make the make Kevin Perelman, Jason Perelman's younger son, look crazy with music and radios. Now I wrote some quick notes down, and they're all kind of sporadic. They're all kind of sporadic and all over the place because it was really fast. And I'm sure I'll probably end up continuing this diary entry. But let me think. So the radio tactic came after several things happening. First, at 14, starting to work out. 2 houses down from me, Nikki Sixx moves in. Never thought anything about it. Okay? Most people know who Nikki Sixx is. I think the bass player for, what the hell? Motley Crue. Nikki Sixx moves in from Motley Crue. 2 houses down. Married to Brandy Brandt, the Playmate. Brandy Brandt's always jogging up and down the street. Now, I always jogged and ran. Was it a coincidence? Probably not. Probably what happened was my family saw me jogging and running, being healthy, and lifting weights, and they got mad. So they did what they always do. Have a girl start jogging and then say Kevin's a dog and he's following her. Right? And they did this over and over at strip clubs, on Twitter, on Facebook, at coffee shops, with Corey Bixby at 16, you name it. A common cry wolf tactic with women told to follow me and then cry wolf that I'm stalking them. Done to me in the thousands over and over across a 40-year period. Okay. So most likely Brandy Brandt was told to try to frame me. Nikki Sixx. Later on with radio shows, whatever. That's perfectly normal with musicians and things, but there is this threes thing going on, and I don't know why they keep babbling in threes over and over with every person I see worldwide. And I'm guessing that has to do with the song Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx, in some kind of strategic operation because they know I like girls. Okay, a guy that likes girls. I mean, oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, so sidetrack. One of the things that happened, which seemed pretty harmless at the time, Nikki Sixx drove, I believe, no, it wasn't. I was going to say a white Bronco like OJ. It wasn't. I think it was a black Bronco. He had the same Bronco as OJ, but it was like black. Whatever. I'm not making any association with Nikki Sixx and the OJ Simpson defamations. But one of the things Nikki Sixx did, which seemed pretty harmless at the time, was I was under my car working on my car with a wrench or something, whatever. I don't remember if I was bolting down the engine or something. Can't remember, but I was underneath my car working on it. And Nikki Sixx drives up past the street. He's driving up the hill, and he drives past his house, and then he swerves at me, like in a joking way, not in a mean way. He swerves towards me and then straightens out, like I'm just joking around with you, right? Okay, and I kind of go, that's funny, that's Nikki Sixx. And I think that was after Nikki Sixx asked me if he could borrow a wrench to work on his Bronco, right? So there was some contact with Nikki Sixx when I was 16, although I was kind of a shy, quiet kid. So I don't think we had any complex discussions or anything. But he did borrow a wrench and give it back and jokingly swerve towards me and then straighten out as he went past his driveway to joke around with me. Okay, I get it, whatever. Not the type of thing you're running to the police going, you ruined my life or anything. This is someone just joking around with you, right? That's generally how sane people are, especially ones that are fun-loving and have sense of humor, right? I believe after that is when my brother, and I just made the connection just now, my brother after that puts a license plate frame on his 323 or 262, I don't know, I think it's a 323 Mazda, that says I swerve and hit people at random, right? And on times he wants me to drive his car, but I don't know why. So why did my brother go out and put I swerve and hit people at random after Nikki Six kind of swerves at me jokingly, right? What's that about? Well, I can't tell you what it's about, but my guess is my family made up some more of their fantasy delusions about me, saying maybe I swerved to try to hit someone or something like this. Who knows? Because there's so many lies. This propaganda and defamation is literally in the thousands and thousands to the world. There's new lies every day of my life to the world to try to cover up the older lies. So I can't tell you what they're saying. I can just say that they're riling up the masses against me to have me hunted, killed, or rid of the world. Killing someone or ridding some of the world in ways that look like you just couldn't take the pressure and died or something bad happened to you, right? Back to the radio things. Okay, so one of the big bands my brother liked, and I like too, I love Pink Floyd, everyone knows. And my brother liked Pink Floyd, although remember I was into the heavier music, the Dokken, the Iron Maiden, and my brother was into more of the Jimmy Buffett, Jethro Tull, Journey. I listened to a little of everything, but I was more geared towards the heavier music. Now, my point. My brother was big on Pink Floyd, and after Pink Floyd breaking up Roger Waters, and he sort of made an emphasis on Radio Chaos by Roger Waters, right? Now it's hard, I don't want to sort of nitpick like they do, just grab anything and throw it in a pile of bullshit, but there's a worldwide campaign of chaos to kill me since a young child, and my brother's big into Radio Chaos, Roger Waters. And even after 29, my brother inviting me to Florida and these setup and frame job operations, telling me about the butterfly effect and him studying the chaos effect and all these things. Well, isn't it interesting that the guy who's trying to bash my friend's skull in with crowbars and is coming after me because I don't fit the profile of a murderer like him, and blood is thicker than water, who's big on the chaos and butterfly effect and all these things, is riling up worldwide groups to torture and kill me in such ways to kill someone and get away with it, just like the book that was hanging around Stephen Ainbinder, my father's partner's son, and the Menendez, How to Kill Someone and Get Away with It. Well, my brother really wasn't in the Menendez grade, and he wasn't too close to Stephen Ainbinder, but still, something's kind of hanging over there with me thinking, like, there's a book that's sort of associated, connected, close to my father's partner's son, and my brother's trying to kill me with my family and get away with it. And do it in such a way to get away with it, right? Okay, so think about, we have a brother who's lied about everything. He's telling the world that when we were kids, I was thugging and bullying him, right? Well, that's not the truth. The truth is that my brother would thug me and bully me over and 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 try to get reactions to use against me, and now it turns out that it wasn't just two brothers being brothers. It's actually a brother that had motive and intent, working with the psychology community and my parents. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? My brother endlessly hitting me in the back of the head or flicking me in the ear 100 times a day wasn't about being a bullying brother that just is really annoying and won't stop. It was about trying to get reactions to use against me so he could make up lies that I tried to kill him and things like this, right? That's why he was doing it. And I probably went into some of the other conversations about 14 and taking me on the cruise with their Pearl Harbor hinting messages with Aaron Moselle, so I'm not going to go into that, but those are all about trying to make me look crazy, to lock me away and put me in a mental institution. So now, I want to kind of go back to the radio and the thought process. Jason Perelman doesn't want to give me my space or privacy. Why? Because why? What did I do to my brother that's so bad that he spent my entire life trying to flip me into, make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo? What is it that I did to him? Well, there's nothing you can answer because there is nothing I did to him, but he's going to try to nitpick some kind of imperfection. You walked in my room when I wasn't there, so you ruined my life. The same thing's like Aubrey Fisher, right? You tapped your foot around me, so I'm hunting you down with worldwide support to kill you. Doesn't really add up. Okay, so Jason Perelman is mad because I farted wrong, or he just doesn't like me. Although this is coming from my parents, where it gets even weirder. But he wants to make me afraid to be in my room alone in private, right? We're listening to everything you do on the radio. We've put a bug in your room. Okay, well, but why? Because I want to make you paranoid. I want to make you uncomfortable. I want to make it so that you can't have a normal life. I want to flip you out. I want to get reactions to use with the police against you. All the above, right? Okay, so now I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't, but I will, just for fuck's sake. I'm going to go into my life and tell you, well, maybe it's because it's about this, right? I'm going to do one of these. And in the past, when I've done one of these, me soul searching, maybe the guy stalking me because of this type thing, it's always gotten me into trouble. Sorry, I need water. It's always gotten me into trouble because the police and government have always been hovering over me, trying to get me doing the right thing. I'm soul searching to try to figure out what the fuck's going on so they can take it and twist it and contort it into something to use against me. Oh, he's crazy because he's looking in his past and he's obsessed. Right? The stupidest shit that doesn't make any sense. But remember, I'm in the court of public opinion here to the world based on 40 years of all day and night propaganda. And so the world needs to understand the truth from childhood to now, because the world for the past 40 years in secret in illegal operations has been given lie after lie with criminal intent to have me killed based on chaosing me to death, right? Okay, so radio chaosing me to death. So, all because I started listening to music and lifting weights. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Okay, so, and then of course, I'm told I'm not allowed to listen to music or watch movies or create art to the world, from the world. Well, that doesn't make sense either. But let's kind of pick it apart. Okay, so now, what is it that my brother wants to know about what's going on inside of Kevin Perelman's room at 14 years old or younger? I can't fucking imagine. What did Kevin do? Now, Lorena Escobar has the same argument now. It's what you're up to in the privacy of your own home, showing that she's stalking me and violating my privacy with government resources to try to nitpick anything to use against me to rid me of the world. correct? People don't do that. I have the right to my privacy. The Constitution says I have the right to my privacy. That's why we have things like search warrants to keep us safe. Yet the LAPD has tracked and violated my phone since cellular phones came out. Every aspect of my life has been violated, from my computer for 25 years since 1994. My computer privacy being violated with the sole intent to make me mentally ill and kill me. Okay? What is it they're so concerned about? What was Kevin up to at the age 8 when I kissed the black girl and the world was told I'm a white supremacist for kissing a black girl at Sunny Skies Day Camp, to 14 to 16 in my Hidden Hills house in Kevin Perelman's room? I can't imagine. Was I an 8-year-old building an atomic bomb, blowing up 100,000 people in a football stadium? Of course not. So what justifies this? Well, nothing justifies it. But what is it they're digging and prying to get? What is it they want so bad? Well, they want anything they can use against me to justify removing me from society. But let's talk. I'm just going to talk about one situation that's a little out there. The fact that I even have to do this, the fact that I have to look back 30, 40 years and pull this crap out of my brain that doesn't even matter, is the entire problem. It's them trying to make it look like I suffer from obsession, and really these are things that who would care about anyways, but I'm going to do it anyways. Music and radio is sound and noise. And my guess is that at one imperfect moment in my life, my family heard a noise from my room. And what was this noise? Now, wait, let me go back. Remember, in some of my previous video diaries, I talk about throwing some mud and water in the street and it hitting a car. And I've been hunted since 4 or 5 because I threw some water in the street that hit a car. I just want you to be on the level of hypersensitive psychotic murderers that give a shit about things that don't matter, destroying my life. Okay, so I want to set the foundation based on my family's personality, based on there is no imperfection allowed, and what they're doing to my life. So, what was this noise they heard? Well, let me quickly go through the things that don't matter. I can't remember, let's say 10 years old. 10 years old, I start building RC cars piece by piece. After building RC cars, I start modifying RC cars. I then go from electric cars to gas cars. The gas car is a whole ordeal because I'm like a 12-year-old kid getting into gas RC cars, which the big boys are getting into. I built the car, no problem. I can't get the damn thing started. And back then, now today, it's a moron thing. Today, all the cars come pre-built, and the gas cars come with electric starters. So you don't have to think, right? Back in 1980, I had to build the car piece by piece, and the starter for the gas car was a little rubber donut around an airplane, RC airplane starter. And you have to, and there's a little metal disc flywheel on the gas motor, and you have to touch, you have 2 spinning discs, or 1 spinning disc and 1 stationary flywheel. And so you have to take the spinning disc at like 7,000 RPM or something, and you got to touch it against the stationary disc to try to kickstart the engine, right? Okay, royal pain in the ass. Now, you got to do all that with priming the engine and getting it to fire up and all this. Well, you're talking to a 12-year-old kid that's just built a gas car. And I can't get it started. And I remember going to Hobby Shack, and the guy's like frustrated, like, you know, you just do this and whatever. And the only thing I can remember hearing maybe 10 years ago, with my father and Lorena out to lunch, taking me out to these Bash Kevin lunches with mass groups attacking me, was that I failed and I couldn't get the gas car started, and how bad my father felt for me. Well, that's not the true story. The true story is eventually I did get it started. I overcame the 12-year-old hurdle of building gas RC cars, which I don't know any 12-year-old around me that was doing. Unfortunately, on its first drive, the servo frequency freaked out and the car went haywire. You couldn't control it, and it drove it like 40 miles per hour and jumped the hill down into Darren Mosell's hill and tweaked the roll cage and all this, whatever. Okay, I mean, whatever. In most people's lives, those are what's called learning experiences. To put it in perspective, if you want to become a porn star, you gotta fuck a lot to be good at fucking to become a porn star. You're not born top you're not born top nympho fuck porn star. You gotta fuck a lot to become a good porn star and learn all your shit. Okay? Well, the same goes for learning IT, learning web development, learning how to build RC cars, learning how to build real cars. Experience comes from experience, and I am told I am not allowed to get there or associate with other people to learn and experience. Anyways, I don't want to go down that road. I just wanted to make the point to you that the things going on in my room is Kevin's building RC cars, Kevin's gluing, you know those old, this is way past you people's time, but back when I was a kid, you went to a hobby store and you got plastic models with glue, and you glued the cars together, airplanes piece by piece, and then you painted them. That's what my generation did. Now it's all done for you. And at one point, around 12 years old, around 8th grade, Brian Weaver comes over and he smashes all my models. Okay, so now if you really want to know who Brian Weaver is, the guy claiming that I'm being publicly shamed for all his shit, paid off to hunt me down or sent after me, contacted to have me hunted and killed, you can understand that Brian Weaver, just like Brian Longbotham, are lying, murdering pieces of shit sent after me at a very young age, with the Ryan Hirsch frame jobs, you name it, sent after me, and the things you might ask is, well, there are assholes, but why do all the assholes in Kevin Perelman's life have the ability to tell the entire planet lie after lie? Right? Do you understand? Lie after lie goes to the entire planet. In Kevin Perelman's radio life, and so the things that are going on in my life aren't normal. They're staged with reason, motive, and intent, based on creating chaos for my life until I'm dead, gone, in mental institutions or jail cells. Okay? All stemming from the psychology community and police and government. Okay, so now, what is Kevin Perelman doing in his room? We got lots of women running around with little keys on their necks. We got lots of movies with references about keys and locks. We have people with names like Brian Longbotham, Brian Weaver, all trying to get in. We have girls on the internet with Paul Humphrey, Lisa Marie, sent after me with little hinting messages. You're adorable, with little literal hints that we're going to break you open like a door or something, right? Okay, what's that all about? To open me up, to get me out of my shell? I don't fucking think so. Okay, so, because if you wanted to get me out of my shell, I would be showered with women saying, let's fucking go out on dates, and trust me, I would open up and be more social. Okay, so, What is this about? What was Kevin Perelman doing in his room that's so bad? What is it so bad that right now I have Debbie Woolman, who purchased the adjoining property to my complex, who's a court reporter, who's never lived in the property, with audio surveillance equipment with the LAPD, trying to get any audio sound out of my apartment to use against me, even at the age 47, to try to get me to do something inside my house where they can record audio to make me look crazy. Do you understand? We're listening to everything you do. We're keeping tabs on everything you do. Nothing is private. Nothing is sacred. You have zero space. Everywhere you go, people are told lie after lie, or trying to get private information based on illegal things that you could never conceive of, because it would kill people and make them mentally ill and end their lives. It's so bad. What is it that they want to know about my childhood in my room? And so I'm going to tell you, just like I told you about the stupid mud in the street, which nobody could give a flying fuck about, I'm going to tell you. I'm in my room. I'm building RC cars. Who fucking cares? I'm reading Hot Rod magazines. Who the fuck cares? I become 16. I'm reading Hot Rod magazines and How to Build Engine magazines. Who the fuck cares? I even peeped my brother's Playboy. I snuck into my brother's room and peeped his Playboy. Who the fuck cares? Especially with Brian Weaver with like a stack of 100 Playboys under his bed. His parents didn't even fucking care. Okay, the point. Who the fuck cares? You're saying my brother's hunting me down because I looked at his Playboy without his permission, with government, FBI, NSA support? I don't fucking think so. Okay, so before building the RC cars, because this was a lot younger, I had those little model race, what do you call them? The little race sets. I believe the company that made them, what was called like Tyco or something. And they were little tracks, and you put the car on the track, and the track had a slot or two electrical tracks, and you plugged in, let me think, I think you plugged the track into the wall, and the car just raced around the track on the track. Just went in little circles on these figure eights or whatever, and just went around and around, and you could buy different cars and things like that, and you put the cars on the tracks, right? And now you think about it as probably pretty stupid, right? But remember, these are built for kids. They're little kids. So I'm probably 8 years old. 8 to 10. Let's say 8 to 10. And I'm 8 to 10. I have my little Tyco race sets, whatever, and variations, different companies, and the car, you know, it just does the same damn thing over and over. So eventually, I get one. I think the cars were a little bigger on one, and I wanted, you know, this is at first you have to understand I'm a 8 to 10 year old experimenting, but I want the car to go faster, right? I want the little Tyco or whatever car to go faster around the track. So I take a 110 volt. I think around this time I learned how to solder and was soldering. I was soldering for my RC cars too. So I knew how electrics work. I knew how positive and negative worked. I knew how to solder electrical connections and things like that. And so I took a spliced 110 volts. Oh, and I think we learned a lot of these things because we took apart things. When we were kids, we took my father's old reel-to-reel apart and looked at all the tubes and things like that. And that's how I learned about electronics, taking apart electronics. Kind of like that movie Demolition, where that actor does all his movies based around on my life. I don't know his name. You know, like the movie Enemy, where Half of that movie is about hinting about my brother and my brother's personality, how they make movies around my life to try to flip me out and make me look like a violent paranoid schizo. You know, that guy, I don't know his name. He also did Donnie Darko. Like that movie Demolition, except the movie Demolition is about like some manic depressed dude or something. And my life is not about depression. It's about a family sabotaging my life. Okay, so anyways, that's the difference. Is that these movies aren't written. These movies, when these writers are writing in this fiction to try to make characters look like me, they're writing it on pure fiction, and that probably links back to Darren Moselle, who writes for the entertainment industry, who's mad at me for reasons I can't comprehend with my brother. But anyways, back to the point. I just want you to understand the type of person I am based on how I learned how to build things or take things apart or whatever, and the propaganda to the world, which is complete fiction, so that you understand the real story and what's really going on, and that this isn't about Kevin's depression or Kevin having a problem. This is about an angry family that wants to sabotage. Okay, so I'm in my room, let's say 8 to 10, I can't remember. I know how to solder. I have my little, it wasn't a Tyco car, but it was similar, it was a little bigger. It had a positive and a negative on the bottom of the car, which ran on 110 volt, and I wanted to hot rod the car. Does that make sense? I wanted the car to go faster, so I take the 110 spliced plug wire, I plug it in with a positive and negative apart, and I touch the positive and negative to the bottom of the little race car. Okay? Well, I mean, you're probably looking at this laughing, going, what the fuck are you thinking, Kevin? But we're talking about an 8 to 10 year old or something, right? I mean, okay? That's like saying an 8 to 10 year old's in surgery in the OR room and he's got the wrong scalpel, okay? 8 to 10 year olds aren't in surgery, in surgical environments or rooms. That's the point. You're talking about an 8 to 10 year old. And we're talking about something completely harmless. Now they're sending girls after me to stalk me and hunt me with the government, whose names are Julia Sophia Reynoso, telling me all sorts of fiction about how her father shocked her or weird things like this, when she can't get her way or what she wants with me, and probably wanted to somehow steal my money. Okay? Some girl that wasn't a stripper or anything like that, but Rhodey came in afterwards trying to make it look like I was stalking her like a million other women. Okay, so the point, anyways, I'm sort of trying to throw in some future events with some past events because they all connect. This is the reason why they sent Julia Sophia Reynoso after me, is to dig for some kind of information to try to make it look like I'm crazy, right? Okay, so, and what they're trying to cover up so desperately by telling me I'm not allowed to look at my life. Okay, so, back to this long, drawn-out, sidetracked, what happened in Kevin Perelman's room that my brother family are paying off court reporters that associate with Jay Pilchick in Florida, my brother's wife in Florida, to actually buy property with the police, to put audio surveillance into my wall to try to make it look like I'm crazy, talk to myself, and I'm a nut job to justify ridding me of the world. What happened at this 8 to 12-year-old time is I have this RC car. And remember, these are events that are perfectly normal that nobody could give a flying fuck about. I have this RC car, not RC car, this little Tyco race car that you plug into the racetrack, and I plug the positive and negative into the prongs from a 110 volt. That's pretty damn stupid. But it's a kid just being a kid. And I shock myself, and I scream. Right? Now, this isn't a long, drawn-out, 10-hour scream or anything. It's a simple like, ah! Like that, right? Okay, that's it. That is like the defining point of my whole life. Kevin's crazy. We need to know what's going on in his room. This and that. Why did Kevin scream in his room? Did Kevin see aliens like Tom Farley says? Did Kevin meet Xenu from the Scientology God or something? Did Kevin see a white light? Did Kevin see Jesus? Did Kevin see the devil? Did Kevin see the devil and Miss Jones? Throw the kabasa? I don't fucking know. Okay? Do you understand where I'm coming from here? The point is that just like everything else, I tap my foot around Aubrey Fisher, there's a worldwide campaign to kill me. Kevin shocks himself in his room, plugging a little Tyco car into a 110 volt for less than a second. There's a worldwide campaign going, he's crazy, and we have to bug tap his phones and his room with the government and police to try to flip him out, make him look crazy, and put him in a mental institution. Now, do you really think that that is about me being crazy? Or do you think I'm being followed by a bunch of obsessed nut jobs and loons hunting me down with endless resources saying, we don't want you to accomplish anything in life. We control you. We own you. You do what we tell you or we kill you. No salt on your food. No girls with tattoos. No girls with big tits. No creating art. We want you to be in IT, and building adult websites is unacceptable. Right? Is it about I'm crazy because I plugged a 110 volt into a Tyco car which shocked myself for a tenth of a second? Or is it about and I screamed for a short period one time in my entire life? Or is it about something much bigger that they're sort of nitpicking the stupid things and trying to turn them around on me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? The entire concept of we have a bug in your room and we're listening to you on the radio is to try to sort of guilt me and quiet and create abuse. Right? I know this about you. I know that about you. You're crazy, and it's what it's up to in your own room. And you better start confessing to the police that what you did. Well, why do I have to go to the police and confess anything? That doesn't make sense. And why do I have to go to a therapist and confess things that aren't true? That doesn't make sense. And why are you following me from place to place, especially at the age 47, saying you're crazy and you tell people what we want you to tell them? Kind of like the movie 1984, which was in my next set of notes. Has anyone ever seen the movie 1984? Big Brother is watching you. Because that movie has a lot of parallels to the types of things that are being done to me in the ways that I'm being treated. Now we have a brother. He's spying on everything I do. He's telling me that I have to go around and spy for him. Right? Why do I have to spy for my brother? Why would anyone tell anyone that they have to spy for him? Why is my brother going around with all his friends wearing all black and spying on people's houses and trying to get me to go along with him, which I think I might have went once? But the real reason is because he's trying to peer pressure me into doing it over and over. Does that make sense? He's trying to frame me. He's trying to set me up. Remember, this is like 8 years old. Kevin, let's go play spy. Okay, we'll go play spy. And I do it once and I go, whatever. Right? Now, people following me around in all black for years because of these little events, childhood events at 5 years old that nobody could care about, right? Doesn't really make much sense. Okay, so I've just confessed to you a couple of insignificant confessions that nobody could give a flying fuck, that everyone does, that doesn't matter, being used against me to try to make me look crazy. Okay, so, Kevin, we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to everything you do. Now remember, when I go off to college, my brother are sending people after me to spy on me, right? Example, I graduate Calabasas High and I go to Southern Oregon State College. Kelly Hatch is sent after me to spy on me, keep tabs on me, working with the police on set and frame job operations to remove me from society with endless cry wolf tactics, how I'm supposedly doing all these things to her as cover-up operations. Before that, 14 years old to 16 years old, Paul Humphrey, Joe Humphrey's younger brother, sent after me to befriend me at A.E. Wright and Calabasas High, Joe Humphrey being in my brother's class. Mike Huntley, my brother's other friend, sent into my life at the same time to spy on me and remove me from society. Me and my friends put a teacher in a mental institution. You get where I'm going with that? All these people are linked back to my brother. Kelly Hatch. Before, I was never friends with Kelly Hatch at Calabasas High. Never talked to Kelly Hatch at Calabasas High. Had no connection to Kelly Hatch other than I'd seen her a couple of times on the school. Before moving up to Southern Oregon State College, my brother and his friends were running around singing "Cause her name is Kelly, Kelly, Kelly." Wait. "Cause her name is Kelly." Shit. What was it? Oh. They were running around singing "Cause her name is Kelly, 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 Kelly." And they were singing this over and over. And I didn't know what the fuck they were singing, and I didn't even know who Kelly Hatch was at the time. So my point is that I had never met Kelly Hatch. She was contacted, follow Kevin up to Southern Oregon State College, stalk Kevin Perelman, hunt Kevin Perelman, claim that I broke into her room, claim that I stole her car, you name it, for the crime of just breathing. After I moved from Southern Oregon State College to transferred to Southern Oregon State College to University of Colorado, my brother started introducing me to some of his friends because he graduated. One's name was Mike Wexler, sent after me with the police and government, trying to set me up for statutory rape type things with Lynn Junkin and working on all these weird lockpick angles and things like this, right? The keys, the locks, I'm trying to get in, you're adorable, all those types of things, right? Okay, so where's all this crap coming from? I don't know. Okay, so, but the one thing I am establishing here is that my brother associated with all these people keep coming after me and stating that he and his friends put a teacher in a mental institution, then making it clear he's working on me, right? So does the guy have something to hide? Yeah, he sure as shit does. Okay, so now, who was sent after me in Southern Oregon State College? Steve McPie, I'll just name a few. Guy on IRC named Paranoia. About 100 other people on IRC sent after me. Sia Nijitang. It's hard to remember. Chad Bowers. Professors were reeled into it with little hint or little spy game hinting message tactics. Let's see, I said Mike Wexler. And Mike Wexler 95 was big on the no taking pictures of people first thing, just like now, because they didn't want any proof. Even though I didn't know what was going on in 95. Who else? There's so many. There's so many. cheerleaders sent after me, working with Lorena Escobar, Val Morozov in the pool, meeting me in the pool hall, wanting me to go to strip clubs, just like Rody Morales, continuing, just like Eric Christensen, and when I lived in Southern Oregon State, wanted to take me to strip clubs. Daryl Oon, which was a fellow pool player, and he would always call heavy metal cock rock, wanted to take me to a Kiss, or took me to a Kiss concert because my brother's favorite band was Kiss. You get the connection? My brother's favorite band is Kiss, so Daryl Oon wants to go to a Kiss concert, trying to make it look like I'm schizo and think I'm my brother. Later on, Daryl giving me his pool cue for payment for giving him like 5 months free room and board in my house. Later on, Tim Thompson hunting me down, trying to make people think that I stole Daryl Oon's pool cue, right? Okay, and these are all people that aren't friends or aren't connected normally. They're connected through the internet, but not in person. Mike Huntley, after Mike Huntley calling me up, after Mike Wexler, Mike Huntley, once again, coming back into my life, calling me up. Kevin, I want to start an internet host provider with you if you move back from University of Colorado when you graduate, wanting to get me close to him for 6 years to finish the job, so to speak. Originally my brother's friend, and the same guy that at 29, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with. We're using the system against you. Sinking world of paranoia. Have a good life now. Linked to Melody the stripper. Once again, music. Think about this. Music. My brother's favorite band, I don't know if it's his favorite band, but my brother listening to Roger Waters' Radio Chaos. Mike Huntley at 16 introducing me to Melody, the name, Melody the stripper. Also, other people sent after me, Aubrey Fisher to fish for information, or Mike Huntley to hunt me down with their paranoid schizo tactics. You get the idea. So, Mike Huntley giving me enough rope to hang myself with at 16, introducing me to Melody the stripper and asking me if I want to bounce for her at some bachelor parties, which is pretty fucking harmless. And being hunted for the crime of bouncing for Melody the stripper, who has a musical name. You get it, right? To try to make me look crazy. And Mike Huntley, at 29 with Tim Thompson and everyone else, mad at me for building adult websites, associating with strippers, from the very people they sent after me to take me to strip clubs, build adult websites, or bounce for strippers, are mad at me at 29, and Tim Thompson going from I work for Hot Body International to let's build adult websites, and then he flips into anger. Well, you built adult websites, didn't you? And Mike Huntley, I lost my train of thought. Mike Huntley, Mike Huntley introducing me to Melody the stripper, and then coming after me for it, right? It's like the old the analogy. Hey, do you want a cookie? Well, you ate the cookie. Now I'm gonna kill you. You know what you did. Oh, and more importantly, Mike Huntley saying, this is very important. Mike Huntley saying, well, you associated with those people. Don't associate with those people. Okay, so back to my original conversation about labels. Those people. The murderers who are befriending me like Mike Huntley sent after me for 25 years, posing as a friend, who's a clear psychotic murderer taking money to kill people, is saying, don't associate with those people. So, if you're saying that Mike's a good person, and those people, which can vary from all sorts of different personalities, are bad people, Mike Huntley is labeling like a white supremacist would, and I'm accepting everyone. But Mike Huntley is punishing me with my family. Why? Because I ate the cookie. Do you want a cookie? You ate the cookie. But wait, it's not illegal to eat a cookie, is it? We're not talking about legal versus illegal. You said, here's a cookie. I ate the cookie. I like the sugar. It was good. Maybe I want some more cookies. Maybe I'll eat some fucking cookies from time to time. And maybe those cookies are big-titted, little nympho-ish chicks or whatever. Who fucking cares, right? Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. It doesn't matter. The point is, maybe I meet some big titty girl that is... And I'm just using these big titty girls for extreme examples. Maybe I meet some big titty girl that has all the morals in the world, right? My point is, like I said before, that morals have to do with who you are and not your job description. And being a stripper or a porn star or a nun or whatever does not define you. What defines you is doing things like becoming people's friends for 25 years to find out they're hunting you to kill you and saying don't associate with those people or the people that you don't want to be around. Right? Okay. Those are the psychotic murderers. Those are the immoral nut jobs. Okay. So, don't associate with those peoples is a message. You do what we say or we kill you. Okay. So, I got a million thoughts, as I'm sure you can see, but they are all relevant and all apply. The movie 1984 is about just this. Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother is the government, and everything everyone does is under complete and 100% surveillance, kind of like my life. Okay? Big Brother is watching you. Now, ironically, psychiatrist Dr. Alex Lazar, who's committed every crime in the book that basically have me killed and try to silence me, introduced me to Rick Armando in the band, supposedly, a guitar player in the band, supposedly, called 1994. Well, don't you think that's a little coincidental? That an MD in psychiatry, who's trying to get anything to use against me, who is going to stop me from talking about what's being done to my life, is introducing me to people called Rick Armando, guitar players, from the band 1994, who when saw that I could prove what was being done to me at Encino Starbucks, no longer wanted to help me go to the police and started working on me with the mental illness tactics and talking about psychics to control me. Okay? Don't you think that's a little interesting? Back to the music, the radio and the music. Okay, so, let me think. Mike Huntley is introducing me to Melody, my 11th grade teacher, Miss Tunick, where they stage these operations with a Stefano Cho and a Mike Cho, and what they did was, I mentioned this in a different entry, but so I don't want to go too deep. Stefano Cho, the cool Stefano, sat next to me in 11th grade English with Miss Tunick, and Miss Tunick wanted us to read the book Clockwork Orange. Now, just like Mr. Baylor, I think, who was another English teacher, who wanted us to write papers He wanted us to write our obituaries, which I thought was very strange. And mine being like dying like the Naked Gun. And my mom having an ape shit problem with it, even though that was the assignment. Even though Mr. Baylor in 10th grade or 9th grade English was assigning us, we want you to write your obituaries, 11th grade, Miss Tunick, with the musical, there was Stefano Cho by me, and then there was Mike Cho, who sat across the other side of the classroom, and Mike Cho was like almost like this paranoid Tourette's dude that just kept screaming out, bursting out in class, "You goddamn communist bastards! You goddamn communist bastards!" Right? Well, don't you think that there's some relevance to them trying to flip me out and look like a violent paranoid schizo, patterns of people in twos and things like this, the musical references, people trying to do to me what was done to Mike Cho, except I've never even seen Mike Cho, except for in my English class. He just kind of appeared and disappeared. And I sat by Stefano Cho, which he failed the English class because he got caught cheating on the vocabulary test. Okay, whatever. Kids cheat on tests in high school, whatever. Happens all the time. Who cares? I'm not going to say I support it, but I'm going to say that kids are kids. Okay. So, interesting enough, Miss Tunick. Okay, I'm not sure if my SD card filled up or my camera just stopped recording from time length. It looks like the SD card's still going, so that's good. Okay, so the point that I was getting at is I'm not a high school teacher, but I find, especially with all the music and weird shit going on in all my life, it is very strange for an 11th grade English teacher to want the class to read A Clockwork Orange is a very violent book about a group of gang members mobbing and raping women. Right? Does that sound normal to anyone? Why Miss Tunick wanted us to read A Clockwork Orange. We got Stefano Cho. We got the other Mike Cho, who's bursting out, talking to himself, yelling, "You goddamn communist bastards." The things with people in twos and women in twos and things like that directed at me, that weird freaky thing. My father spazzing out when I was maybe 26, being nice enough to give him a watch for his birthday. Right? Well, why is my father hunting me down and trying to kill me for things like giving him a watch for his birthday? Does that sound a little out there and strange? What is it my father is so defensive about if I give the guy a watch for his birthday? Well, at the time I thought I was just being nice to the psychopath, he clearly has something to hide with watches and time. And that opens up doors to the entire topic and conversation, which I've mentioned in all sorts of diary entries and on my website, about using media to make me mentally ill, to remove me from society. Example, I talk about 5 years old. I talk about 5 years old, and my father taking me to see Wizards by Ralph Bakshi, and then doing their street theater, their endless street theater, with the good brother versus the evil brother trying to make me think I'm in a movie, and then jumping from movie to movie. And now at the age 47, it's in about 60% media where they're actually putting things in movies directed at me. Example, I saw Alita Battle Angel last night. Great fucking movie, by the way. All sorts of things were taken from my life and put in that movie. Things I say, references about writers' perceptions of me, things like this. Why? To try to flip me out and make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo. And, you get the idea. And by the way, I'm talking and a cop just made a right turn behind me, and I got this light on here, and they're itching to try to silence me, no matter what it takes. So I'm going to be looking in the rearview mirror here for a while to see what he does, if he pulls me over or whatnot, trying to sort of thug me and things like that, whatever, because they all know what I'm doing. So they all know I'm talking into a camera about my life, but they'll never admit it. Okay, so because they don't want me talking. So my point is that ironically, my father's mad about me giving him a watch. We have the Clockwork Orange thing in Miss Tunic's class, which is very strange. We have the Mike Cho thing, which is strange. We have a worldwide campaign to make me look like Mike Cho, to karma me to death, right? You did this to Mike Cho, so we're going to do this to you, which jumps from woman to woman, and person to person my entire life, which doesn't make much sense. And there's a guy that just saw me at the car dealer and kept honking his horn 3 times. And so, right, so my father getting defensive about the watch when these references are being used to try to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo kind of shows my father's true colors, right? And when I mentioned the watch at Topeka LAPD, like my father's a nut and he has a problem with watches, they really got defensive trying to break in my house with Dincy and things like that, right? Okay, so I'm getting a little sidetracked. Music, radio music, all these things are relating, right? Miss Tunic, Melody, black communities hunting me down because when I was 14 and lifting weights, I listened to Damn Yankees, Ted Nugent. Who cares? Is Ted Nugent a racist? No. Is Damn Yankees a little Civil War-ish? Yeah, sure. What does that mean? I can't listen to a band called Damn Yankees or Guns N' Roses, or my father's going to plant guns on me if I listen to the band Guns N' Roses, right? Do you understand where I'm coming from? All these things they're doing are to try to make me look crazy. What else? Radio. Oh, okay. Here's some good things I need to talk about. When I was 29, I didn't know what was going on, and I started to find out something was very wrong with my life. I didn't know what was really going on for about 6 or 7 years. I was watching people take turns in anger and rage on me, and I was sitting there questioning, like, what's going on? Why won't anyone tell me what's going on? My mother telling me on the phone, your past caught up with you, hinting I better leave the country. My father telling me I know what I did, but they never would be specific about what exactly any of this is about. And it's not about anything, but labeling and flagging and removing someone they flagged from society. And so now remember, these situations I'm going to tell you are endless from person to person, but this is an example. One of the girls named Crystalina would have a radio cast, And tons of these models do this, right? I mean, there's a million of them. But Crystalina said, everyone, on this night, join my podcast or whatever. And so, and another one did it named something wild. Jesus. It'll come back to me. They'll go on their radio show. They'll invite everyone. If I come on or I don't come on, in the radio show, they're doing all these hidden references directed at me. Right? Why? Well, I can't tell you why. Sorry, I was trying to remember that name because she's on my Twitter probably right now. Black girl, something wild, whatever. And so anyways, the point is that they're inviting everyone to the radio show, the podcast, but then they're directing the hidden messages directed at me to try to turn me into a violent paranoid schizo. Why? Well, there's no answer to the question other than maybe supposedly they're saying I did this to Mike Joe, right, in this Tunics class. Okay, so in Crystalina's radio show, there's also trigger messages to try to make me act out in anger and rage. But this goes from one person to the next. This also goes on with Fox News, Greg Gutfeld, Red Eye, radio shows on the Real Radio, movies, musicians all write things into their songs like probably Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, all based around my life. But they'll never admit to it, right? They'll never admit to the situation that I'm known worldwide, this is going on, you're imagining it, you're a violent paranoid schizo. But there's no answer. What is it about? Well, it all stems from my brother wanting to put me in a mental institution with his friends, and my brother, look at if you want to connect the dots and look at how things are connected based on like a visual hierarchy from person to person, Mike Huntley sent in my life after 14. Who does he introduce me to? Melody the stripper. He's coming after me for associating with a stripper. Right? So, my brother was originally friends with Mike Huntley, and four people from the age 20 to 30, Eric Christensen, Val Moroza, Tom Farley, Brody Morales, all wanted to take me to strip clubs to hunt me down, kill me, make it look like I'm stalking strippers, and make me pay for my crimes of not committing a crime, but doing something that somebody doesn't like or want me to do. Right? Okay, so if we connect the dots on that one, you pretty much have to link that up to my family, paying off the police, saying I don't want my son to associate with strippers, porn stars, build adult websites, play pool because pool is shady, go to coffee shops because going to coffee shops is unheard of, to control a situation, kissing black girls at 8 years old and telling the world I'm a white supremacist, to control every detail of my life. But is it really about control? No. I think control is the illusion to justify extermination. And all these scenarios are unheard of, whether it be control or flagging and extermination are very unheard of, unless we're talking about people like Adolf Hitler or mass genocide throughout history and cultures. But this isn't history and cultures. This is a planet full of people sent after one person, being told every lie, smear, defamation known to man to create chaos, to create that radio chaos, to have me killed. Now, what's the argument? Well, Kevin's crazy because I heard him yell in his room. Right? So, is this about Kevin shocking himself and yelling in his room? Because he puts a 110 volt up to a Tyco car to try to hot rod it? Who would fucking care? Some guy shocked himself in his room. Worst case scenario, can't you ask Kevin what happened? Hey Kevin, I heard you scream in your room. What happened? Can my family not do this? It's been, what? It's been 40 years. 40 years. Not one person can ask, Kevin, what happened in your room? You screamed. 40 years. Okay, remember, the argument at 29 is Kevin doesn't have communication skills. I'm the only one with communication skills. I'm not going to run up to my family going, hey, 10 years ago I shocked myself in my room, right? If my family has an insecurity about me shocking myself with a RC trying to hot rod a Tyco car or whatever in my room, shouldn't they just fucking ask the question and it's done? Okay, so my point is, let's look at the dynamics of the family I'm coming from, their communication skills, the abuse, the insanity, the endless resources of the police, government, FBI, NSA, psychology community. Aubrey Fisher, you tapped your foot around me. I spent 6 years with worldwide support to kill you. You tapped your foot around me. Does that not strike anyone as odd? Okay, all these things, all these situations are the same. You farted around me, you yawned around me, you tapped your foot around me, you burped on a date. You need to be hunted and killed for your transgressions. You went 60 and a 50, you're a reckless driver, you need to be hunted for your transgressions. None of them make sense. Then you have Sean Dinsey paid off with the government. You do what we say or we kill you. Sort of trying to make it look like trying to convert me into a devout Jew or something. Just pure craziness. Okay, so I'm going to pause this for a few because I need water and to get my thoughts together. And I've been talking a lot. But you can see the things I'm talking about are very important and they all connect and they're coming from all directions because they're so absurd to begin with that it's like, why are you hunting me down to kill? Why are you hunting me down to kill me for blinking wrong when I was 10? Right? And that's why things don't really make sense and they're just pure insanity because it's based on that radio chaos, so to speak. My brother's big Roger Waters album he loves so much. Okay, so quickly, I was about to pull over, but I remember the name. Wild Bee was the girl. Now remember, this goes from like every girl or person out there on the planet, but the same thing like Crystalina, Wild Bee. I have a radio show. Everyone listen to my radio show. Everyone listen to my radio show, and interesting that Los Tres Hermanos, a cop's waiting backwards there. Interesting. Okay, so Wild Bee. I have a radio show. Everyone come listen, and then you listen and there's all the passive-aggressive cryptic messages to try to trigger me. Oh, I think this cop's following me too. And so, oh no, different guy. Then on the show is the provokings. I'm going to try to get this guy to, I'm going to try to Mike Cho this guy, so to speak. That's the only thing I can kind of associate this to. I don't know why I have worldwide support to try to turn me into a violent paranoid schizo since 5 years old. It's very strange. And lock me away. So Wild Bee radio show, cryptic trigger messages. We want to trigger you into reactions. And then, of course, you find out, maybe you speak up about it, maybe directly or indirectly, then comes the block. How dare you? They turn around. How dare you? You're a bad person. You're a crazy man. Don't say anything. I don't know you. The same thing that happens to me with almost every person on the planet. Right? They'll block you. They'll go, it's because you did this, because you're a spammer, because you farted, because you blinked. But the real reason they're doing these things is to cover up what's going on. Now, there's also references about B's, like with Bridget B, the porn star, and Plan B, the strip club, which Rhodey Morales brought me to, and Bridges about movies, and probably linking to Jeff Bridges and the movie Tron, and all sorts of references and connections to movies, and it's coming from all directions to make me look crazy. That's the point. So while B and Crystalina are just two numbers out of billions, I'm just sort of using their examples because they're all involved in the same things of trying to make me look crazy, which I'll link back to Brian Weaver saying, Kevin, let's go to Kevin's Burgers where the hot rods meet, and then hinting to the world that I'm trying to blow up women, like my brother used to make combustion burgers, trying to blow up hamburgers, and then we started doing it a few times. So once you figure out the patterns of behavior, my brother's trying to blow up combustion burgers was my brother and friends cooking hamburgers, and they would load it up with as much alcohol as they can in hopes that they could blow up the hamburger on the grill. That's what combustion burgers were. And then me and my friends started doing it a couple of times, just having some fun. And this is high school, right? And after that, I get into building cars, and Brian Weaver wants to take me out to Kevin's Burgers where all the hot rods are meeting, and he obviously starts building cars after I do. So why, coincidentally, are all the hot rodders and car builders want me dead, who were launching cars at me to try to cause accidents when I was 16? What's that about? Well, what it's about is Brian Weaver was trying to send me hidden messages that I like to blow up women, like mentally, provoke them until they react in anger. And he was hinting that women like cars, or cars like women, are also hamburgers and meat, right? Street meat. And so the entire paranoid schizophrenia tactic with Brian Weaver taking Kevin Perelman to Kevin's Burgers. Oh, wait, 7-Eleven. And the cop was waiting at that 7-Eleven. Remember, I was telling you the cops waited all 7-Elevens in case I go get Slurpees. My point is that, so I have it on my car DVR, but not on this cam. My point is that, what the hell was my point? My point is that the entire scam, or whatever you want to call it, mental illness operation of framing me, is to take me to Kevin's Burgers and hint that I think women are cars, based on a paper I wrote about cars and curves in high school, and I'm trying to blow up women, get them angry, and blow up in anger, right? Hence, turning everyone against me. Now, I'm totally getting sidetracked from radio, but remember, Brian Weaver wasn't my brother's friend, he was my friend, showing that Brian Weaver, Greg Waugh, all my friends were also reeled in, just like my brother's friends, to this mass conspiracy to remove me from society. Trying to make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo, trying to make it look like I'm manic, you name it. Okay, make it look like I'm a woman hater, all of the above. My point is that, I don't even know how I got to this tangent. My point is that, that Wild B, like Crystalina, is just those two names. You can throw them in a pile with a billion names. They're all told to do the same exact thing until I'm dead and gone, right? But it all comes down to these people needing to start being honest about the situation and what's really going on, and talk about who approached them and are telling them to take part in this mass murder operation. Okay, now I'm at 7-Eleven and I'm going to get something to drink and probably a Slurpee. And Tom Farley might hunt me down with the NSA, FBI, and Dincy for buying a Slurpee for the Slurpee crime because Slurpees have sugar. Yes, I know, it doesn't make any sense. But when you have a worldwide paranoid schizophrenia campaign to exterminate you since 5 years old, nothing really does make sense. Okay, so I stopped at 7-Eleven, and the first thought that goes to my head is when I was like 14 and skating from Hidden Hills to my father's house and my neurotic mother saying don't go to 7-Elevens at night because that's where drug dealers hang out, like down in like Woodland Hills area. It's like, that's a little freaking neurotic. Okay, so anyways, I'm leaving 7-Eleven. I've also noticed the ramp up of police cars at 7-Elevens since my statement about getting Slurpees and Tom Farley going ballistic on me at 29 for getting Slurpees. I can't tell you why exactly they're at the 7-Elevens, but I'm pretty sure it's based around me. Other things I want to note. Oh, well, I got my water. I got some coffee. I didn't get a Slurpee. I went for the other sin that I'm not allowed to have. I don't know why. Somehow it leads to my manic depression, my imaginary manic depression and imaginary OCD that don't exist or something. I don't know. And then of course the real sin, ironically talking about cookies. I got a box full of cookies here. So eat outside the box, everyone. I'm sure I will be hunted and killed for each and every cookie I eat here because cookies aren't healthy like vegetables. Okay, so another thing I want to add, which I've mentioned in some of my prior whatever you want to call them, video diary entries, video blogs, is I noticed my phone was hacked about maybe 5 months ago, right when I bought my Yi camera, and I noticed that people seem to be getting live streams from my Yi camera across the internet, which I have no proof of, but this type of thing has been done to me all day and night for 40 years, right? My point is, since we're on the I have a bug in your room and we're listening to everything you do on the radio, things that abuse people and violate their privacy, right? Example, if I want to do a live stream, I take the Yi app and I choose live stream. Someone doesn't offload your streams or personal data to use against you and take out of context. Back to the we have the bug in your room and listening to everything you do on the radio, now very doable across the internet with hacker technology or NSA technology, more importantly, or the police can track your cell phone by just flipping a switch, right? My point is, which they're supposed to have warrants for, but they do it illegally thinking that they're above the law. My point is, why do you think my brother introduced me to the internet in 1994? You try to flip me and make me look like a violent paranoid schizo. Okay, so my point is that most likely these recorded videos on a camera are being streamed off my phone while people are watching live, and there's reasoning why I say that based on interactions, daily interactions with people when I do, I guess you'll call them podcasts, but they're not because I'm actually recording and uploading to YouTube. But people are probably seeing the feed live anyways. So, not with my consent. That's the point. If I choose to use the live streaming, then that's one thing. But if people are hacking into my phone with the police and using my life against me, that's the entire problem that's always been going on. Now, I'm not doing a radio show. I'm doing blog or diary entries. So them trying to say, well, you're crazy because you're talking into a camera. Doing radio shows still wouldn't matter, but the point is, I'm just kind of trying to get the point across to you, the types of things that are done to me, right? So, if this is being offloaded off my phone via cellular signal, which is fairly probably easy to do with NSA tools and hackers working with them, you get the idea that I'm not intentionally live streaming it. Once again, my privacy is being violated like it always has been since 5 years old, and we have a bug in your room and doing everything we're listening to everything you do on the radio. Hence some PI down in Malibu Starbucks trying to make me look crazy, talking about podcasts in my cars. And I said, well, I'm not podcasting, I'm recording them. Him then trying to make me look crazy. Either way, it's not crazy, whether it's live streamed or podcasts. It doesn't matter. But you get the idea. I'm just trying to sort of convey how people are strategically using these angular conversations to try to get what they want, which is my demise. And ironically, invoking the thought about my father hiring me or getting me a job at Star Auto House with Gabby Angle when I was 16, where they loosened the lug nuts and told me to drive Chuck Norris's car home, trying to kill me while throwing wrenches at me and things like that. Okay, so where was I? Adriana Alvarez. I'm sort of jumping to the future around 26. My father and Lorena Escobar want me to meet Adriana Olivares. They're sending after me to hunt me down. Adriana Olivares running around the office saying I'm going to get the doctor's son. Well, I worked at Signet above my father in his building because he gave us this great Ventura Boulevard rent price. Little did I know that they were having Mike Huntley put our switch onto their network so that they could put spyware and do horrible things to me, which they're trying to cover up still to this day. Adriana Olivares, my father wanting me to meet, and turns out basically sent into my life as some kind of like ultimatum. You date, marry, have kids with this girl, or we kill you. Little did I know, I just saw some immature girl running around looking like she wanted a trophy boyfriend, and I was completely turned off and into more mature people. I did put her on the friendship level, letting her into my life. And the first date she wanted to go out on with Lorena Escobar and my father was a chaperone date with her mother, roller skating. Or roller skating or rollerblading, I don't remember. Now, if you're thinking like a normal person and these things aren't being done to you, you're not going to be thinking about anything but, oh, we're just going out to a cheesy roller rink. Now, after knowing her for several years, seeing who she really is, finding out that her statements, I'm going to get the doctor's son, taking journalism classes and things like this, were all about a girl that was paid off to have me killed, just like Lorena Escobar and her and Lorena Escobar friends. You get the idea. But when we're going back to, I can list off 100 things alone from Adriana Olivares that she's involved in doing to me, but I want to stick to one thing, and we're going to stick to the radio and music. The first date she wanted to take me to she took me to was the roller ring, chaperoned by her mother, I think my father. They tried to do this group thing to make it look like it wasn't a date, but it was a date. You understand? We're just going out as a group of people, but we're trying to get you together, right? That all applies to Pink Floyd and If You Should Go Skating on the Thin Ice of My Life. That's why they chose the rollerblade ring or whatever. Now most people will be like, that's crazy, what are you talking about? And my response is, do you know how many people worldwide are mad at me for liking and listening to the band Pink Floyd? Wish You Were Here, great album. Animals, never was really into that one. Dark Side of the Moon, great album. Roger Waters, The Wall, great album. David Gilmour after Roger Waters, great albums. My point is that, like everything else, they nitpick one thing that they could try to use against me and attack my credibility, and they go, Kevin's crazy because he's singing songs on the internet or when he's walking around, if you should go skating on the if you should go skating on the thin ice of my life, or we're just two lost souls swimming in fish bowls year after year. They're using them as literals, as if I'm somehow doing something to someone and then saying I'm crazy, right? Now, why are they doing this? They go from thing to thing. 14, I buy the album Damn Yankees, or I listen to Damn Yankees. Coming of Age, there's several other Ted Nugent albums. Does that really have to do with slavery and the Civil War? No, of course not. They're just analogies, right? Who thinks like that? Well, crazies think like that, right? They analyze your art and hunt you down and try to kill you for each and every piece of art you create. Hence, what's being done to me my entire life. Every piece of artwork I've ever created, I've been hunted with mass groups. Doesn't make any sense. And just to use an example, because I don't really want to go into the artwork, I do a harmless picture in a college computer imaging class with Jim Johnson of Mike Tyson fighting a Asian game character, Katana, and I've somehow committed the crime of all crimes. I'm a violent paranoid schizo who thinks he's black, who thinks he's Mike Tyson, who's a white beater and hates Asians. Okay? Well, wait. Time out. Where does this come from? It's got to come from somewhere, because I'm not singing Mike Tyson songs and punching women in the face or anything. So where's it coming from? Is everyone out there paranoid psychotic and I just didn't know it? Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? No. It's strategic. They're doing it intentionally. They're creating lies, smears, defamation, cry wolves with clear and obvious intent, and it goes to the world on these propaganda networks to radio chaos me to death, right? Coming from my brother. Is it really coming from my brother? Because why are the police supporting it? Do you understand? The police are telling my brother to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo, and that really all starts from my family. Because why? Because they want me to have a good life. Well, I don't see how destroying someone's life gives them a good life. So if you can enlighten me on that one, we're going to all get together, hunt you down, and kill you, and lock you in jail cells, mental institutions, or get you to blow your brains out because I want you to have a good life. Well, I thought I had a good life up until 29 before I found out there were worldwide mental illness operations to end my life in the name of helping me. Okay, so I got to look at my notes. But I just wanted to give you a little tidbit on Adriana Olivares and the types of tactics, and while groups of people show up in pink and things like that, trying to flip me out based on Pink Floyd, basically telling me that I've committed a crime for watching Pink Floyd or listening to Pink Floyd, and trying to make me look like an OCD or manic depressive case, right? Okay. Andrew Adelman. Okay. I'm 14. I'm working out. I got my music. I got my Ghetto Blaster. I got my CD collection with whatever, like I said, Dawkins, Led Zeppelin, Journey, Guns N' Roses, Poison, all the classics that everyone loves. Oh, probably some Beatles. I was veered outside to fairly different eras, but I didn't really go into the super boring, the things I find boring, like, I don't fucking know, Mel Torme or Before Rock and Roll, whatever, that's not my thing. Okay, so, Damn Yankees is the big one. I keep mentioning Damn Yankees because I've had the black community and every other community hunting me down since kissing a black girl at 8 years old, and my family, police, and government telling the world I'm a violent paranoid schizo and a white supremacist. Why am I a white supremacist? I kissed a black girl, my family got mad. That's very strange. Okay, so, sorry, it's dark and it's foggy, and I was just trying to figure out where I am. Andrew Adelman. So, when I'm 14, Andrew Adelman is probably 16 with all his brother and his friends. I'm friends with my friends, and I'm friends with my brother's friends because I was put back a grade in T1, and my brother is 2 years older. So what does that mean? It means that I'm actually in between my friends and my brother's friends' age. So I'm kind of hanging out with both. I don't know that anyone's offended because, once again, back to communication, if my brother is a territorial dog that pisses on his territory and then kills people, which he is, normally communication skill says, Kevin, these are my friends. Go do your own thing. Nothing was ever said like that. Therefore, if my brother is angry that I'm hanging out with his friends who keep showing me horror movies and trying to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo and try to make me act out in rage or make it look like I conform to media, which didn't work, he should just say, Kevin, we don't want you here. And I'd be like, okay, you're an asshole, but whatever. But why is he sending his friends into my life in the first place to spy on me, right? So all of his actions are inviting me in, reeling me in, and then going to everyone else behind my back that Kevin's this horrible monster and doing all these things. Okay, just like everyone else in my life. Victoria Walker, Aubrey Fisher, keep calling me up, come over, help me, do this, help me. He's a dog, he won't leave me alone. Wait, they keep calling me. How am I a dog? You keep fucking calling me, right? Okay, so back to the 14. You can understand the age difference. I'm 14. My brother and his friends are all driving with their road rage shit. I'm lifting, working out, building RC cars. And Andy Alleman is driving around in Norma, a green 1967 Mustang with a Confederate hat. Why did Andy choose a Confederate hat? Well, I can't exactly tell you the whys, but let's do the math. The math is that I kissed a black girl in T1 between first and second grade. My family go 8-ball ballistic, banana ball ballistic, whatever. That I kissed a black girl. I'm labeled a white supremacist. They bring in the band Devo. One of the kids' parents supposedly was in Devo. Devo, Whip It Good, right? You get the reference. Even though Whip It Good's not about slavery, they're trying to use these situations around me to apply it to me. Does that make sense? So now, I kiss a black girl, they're mad at me, Devo comes in, they sing Whip It Good, they're trying to make up lies. Well, Kevin listened to Devo, now he hates black people and wants to make them the slaves, right? Well, it doesn't really make much sense, but these arguments by adults with authority are being created with agendas to remove me from society, right? Then what happens is the teacher cracks an egg while they're cooking, and a fertilized chicken embryo falls in what she's cooking, and hence the relationship between black people from Starbucks following me a couple of years ago home while on my bicycle and egg mobbing me to death, linking back to Devo, the accusations that I'm a white supremacist because I kissed a black girl, right? Back to music. But why? Well, the why isn't anything but government flagging. We're going to rid this person of the world. We don't like him. We don't trust him. He's gone. He's a dead man. Okay, so you get the idea. So my crime of buying 100 albums, 100 CDs, and they nitpick one out of them. Oh, well, damn Yankees shows that he's a racist. Well, that doesn't show jack shit, but that's how they're twisting and contorting and taking things out of context and feeding the world full of these lies, also known as propaganda, defamation, slander, libel, whatever, civil crimes, but in this case with criminal intent to kill me or rid me of the world based on their radio chaos, so to speak, a chaotic world for me that tortures me and kills me, with premeditation, motive, and intent. Okay, so you understand now why Andrew Adelman would choose to name his Mustang Norma, his green Mustang Norma, and put on the Confederate hat, somehow trying to apply it to me, that maybe Kevin's hanging out with a group of white supremacists, right? But yet, I don't see my brother being shunned, or all his friends being shunned around the world for what they did. For some reason, they're coming after me, saying I did it, and I better not tell anyone. Now, on a little side note, everything that anyone's ever done in my life, they've pinned on me. From Tom Farley egg mobbing Eric Johnson to Richard Grumberg stealing Mr. Woodman, or the Woodman skateboards, Ian Woodman's skateboards. All these things are all for some reason pinned on me. Okay, so where am I on my notes? Alex Lazar. All therapists have been contacted to stop me from talking. Well, that's obvious. Courts now with people to stalk me and tell me. Am I even reading the right notes? Courts, the judicial system telling me I'm not. Oh, wrong notes. Okay. Oof. Brothers, we want to open you up, so to speak, until you die. I don't even know what I meant by brothers, death threat, psycho car, radio, Walker, music, and Nikki Six, Brandy Brandt. That's obvious, right? They're trying to make it like I conform to musicians and think I'm a musician. 14 Yankee families mad at me for listening. Guns N' Roses. Well, I haven't pieced Guns N' Roses together too deeply, but there's a whole bunch of tangents with Guns N' Roses. I don't know if I want to go into the minute details, but there's an issue with my father and me and guns for no reason at all. So my father's been trying to play guns on me my whole life, trying to make it look like I'm a crazy man with a gun. There's this thing with me running through a rose bush when I was about 14. Somehow my father trying to make Guns N' Roses look like the reason I ran through a rose bush, and people all with tattoos, women all with rose tattoos and things like this. I'm not going to go too deep in the Guns N' Roses one, but you can sort of apply that to the original Deadpool movie and things sort of related to me. And now the new remakes of the Deadpool movie, which actually they're not remakes, they're comic book Marvel Deadpool, which all relate around me to sort of try to cover up and mask the original Deadpool movie, directed kind of toward to try to flip me into a paranoid state. I'm going to pull over to read these notes here. Pink Floyd switches to Kevin's not allowed to listen to music. Oh, okay. So now we're in. So that was my childhood. We're going after Kevin for listening to music. Does that make sense? It doesn't really make sense. We're going after Kevin for listening to music, creating art, watching movies. My brother told to show me endless horror movies in hopes that he can make me look like a crazy man. So when it started, it wasn't so much putting things in movies, it was taking things out of movies. Does that make sense? Or music. My brother would show me all these horror movies, and then he'd tell me things like his friend Jeff Allen's. He would show me, hey everyone, let's watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And then he would say, oh, my friend Jeff Allen, mother chainsawed down his door. Trying to get me to say things that make me look crazy. Do you understand? Giving me disinformation to try to make me look crazy. So, of course, I wasn't running around saying Jeff Allen's mother chainsawed down his door because I wasn't there. I don't fucking know. But that's what my brother was doing. Now, I heard other things about Jeff Allen. Supposedly, he was like stealing cards and selling them or something like that, which I have a feeling wasn't really happening. I think my brother was just kind of trying to turn me into a card thief, right? Trying to set me up like everything else. Manipulate me. Get me to conform to crime so they could use it against me, which they failed on every level, always. So in the beginning, it was about trying to get me to conform to movies. Now, after 29, when I started figuring these things out, they got mad. Hence, the groups of people amplifying, actually putting aspects of my life in the media, from movies, music, like probably half of Lady Gaga's songs are probably based around my life. I can't tell you for sure. I've seen other bands I'm sure of over and over. Things in almost every movie taken from my life now. 60% of media, artwork, you name it, all put in the media. Why? So that when I watch the media, I see it and it makes me mentally ill. It creates mental illness. Now, why are they doing it? Well, they're doing it because they don't want me talking. They're doing it because at 29, I found out something was very wrong, and I was met with endless death threats. You don't talk or we kill you. And some of those death threats varied from subtle, from psychiatrists, like if you don't take medication, you'll destroy your life, instead of dealing with the truth and the situation, to you better accept what's going on till it gets a lot worse for you, to no relaxing for you, nigger, to some direct death threats, you're a snitch, you're dead, and those people working with the police and government, with police-trained canine dog attackers to attack me, to try to thug me quiet, right? You get the idea that the information I know, which links unfathomably to kind of like similarities of Clockwork Orange and that person being tortured with media, is the same types of things that have been done to me all day and night, 24/7, since 5 years old. Hence my father's so mad at me for giving him a stupid watch at like 26 or whatever, when I was 26, right? Things that I couldn't fathom or comprehend. Hence, all this media I'm seeing of these things people doing, mimicking everything I do or say, is all about psychological warfare and torture. Okay, now if we take the movie aspect out of it, these are Adolf Hitler regimes. These are psychological warfare campaigns developed by Adolf Hitler and KKK groups. And how did I find this out? Well, after years of being tortured and killed, or people trying to torture me and kill me, I started doing research on the internet about groups or gangs getting together to make people mentally ill to kill them. And what I learned was that these stem from KKK operations to Adolf Hitler regimes that Adolf Hitler never really got to, but was planning on. Now, you're going to say that's beyond any level of fucked up if you're a sane, rational person, but we're talking about Adolf Hitler and a regime to create the perfect world and eradicate imperfection. Right? So we would normally categorize gang stalking with white supremacists and Adolf Hitler and KKK groups. But oddly enough, I'm Kevin Perelman. I pretty much accept all races and cultures. I was born in the United States, in the melting pot. And the melting pot, for those who never learned this in high school, is a phrase used that the United States founded its beliefs on getting all races and cultures together to act as one instead of segregation. Okay? And when I'm 8 years old kissing a black girl, it's because I'm accepting all races and cultures. Now, I can't tell you why that angers my family so much and everyone else. And and I have to be a devout Jew and only date and marry a devout Jew, which they're not even devout Jews. As a matter of fact, everything from I've seen from my family, they're not even Jewish. They don't even believe in God, and the first commandment, thou shalt not kill, in the Bible, they don't even believe in that. So what are they? Well, they're really religious cults that tell you what you have to do or kill you. Well, last I checked, that is not Judaism. That is not any religion. You do what we say or we kill you is not any religion. That's a cult. A cult masked as religion. Okay, so I represent what we're supposed to be. I accept everyone. I accept lawyers. I accept politicians. I accept strippers. I accept porn stars. I accept hoes or whores or whatever you want to call them, even though it's illegal. That's not up to me. If it was up to me, I would make hoeing illegal. If it was up to me, I would make hoeing legal. But it's not up to me. I'm just some guy wondering what the fuck's going on, trying to stay breathing. Okay, so where the fuck was I? Melting pot, everyone together. My family mad at me for being open-minded. Doesn't make any sense. I totally lost my train of thought, so I gotta pause this. Okay, so my point was, while we're in the melting pot, while we're in the United States of America, who fled over here so we can have our freedoms and Bill of Rights and Constitution to protect all of us, so we all have privacy. Oh, are we recording? Yes. So that we can all have our privacy, so that we can all be safe and protected by our police and government. A government by the people, for the people, for all of us, who elect people in power based on a Congress and Senate, basically saying if our president is a crazy man, he doesn't have the power to do anything because we have the Congress and the Senate to vote based on popular demand. When it comes to Kevin Perelman, none of that applies. It's all taken out of the equation. I have no constitutional rights, protections. I'm not protected by the police, the government. Since 5 years old, I've been hunted. Now, this is where things get freaky. Kevin Perelman is hunted by the United States of America government. He is the enemy of the state. But, wait a minute. Not only is Kevin Perelman the enemy of the state, but NSA, FBI, who knows what other organizations that none of us know exist, are involved in Adolf Hitler and KKK tactics to hunt down and kill Kevin Perelman. Because he's smart, because he's clever, because he thinks for himself, because he's original, because he doesn't stick within his social group and make stupid judgments that the dramas and gossips all sit there making. He thinks for himself. He's innovative. He starts companies based on new and different ideas. He learns how to adapt and this and that. So he needs to be hunted and killed with Adolf Hitler tactics. Adolf Hitler. Let me say this again. Adolf Hitler, Nazi, Holocaust, KKK tactics being practiced by the United States government of America. Are you not concerned? You should be concerned when you listen to my police scanner recordings and they say, possible male mental, follow that possible male mental, put them on the watch list. They don't say put them on the watch list, but it's pretty much implied. Possible male mental, do you fucking feel safe? What if someone thinks you're mentally ill? You're a fucking dead man. Is it a crime to be mentally ill? No, it ain't no crime. Sorry, my English is getting a little weird. It's not a fucking crime to be mentally ill. What the fuck? Watch list for the mentally ill? That's insane. What are you gonna do? Why don't you just put them up against the wall and blow their fucking brains out? You fit the mental illness category. Boom. Right? Okay. So my point. 3 times. The United States government of America, who labels me a fucking white supremacist for kissing a black girl at 8 years old at Sunny Skies Day Camp between the grades of 1 to 2, are the fucking white supremacists. The same things that have been done to me from each and everything. Attack Kevin, say Kevin attacked someone. Steal from Kevin, say Kevin stole from someone. Do this to Kevin, say Kevin did that. They're all the same templated hunt down and kill Kevin Perelman by turning the masses against him while raping and pillaging him over and over since 5 years old. Example, my brother does all these things to me, and then him with the entertainment industry go, well, Kevin was a bully and he bullied me. Oh, poor Jason. Oh, poor Jason's pain. Jason had everything. Jason's a fucking spoiled brat. Okay? And when I say this, don't try to turn it around and go, well, you're angry at your brother and bitter. I'm not. Jason was born with a 4.0, the ability to get 4.0s while drinking fucking beers and not studying and becoming a doctor. Kevin Perelman will read the same book 100 times, and no matter how well I know it, I'll still get a C no matter what. On every single test and everything, single thing. It takes me 10 times to learn anything that anyone else in I know takes to learn, born with all these learning disabilities. Okay? So, Jason is out meeting women and this and that. Kevin's shy and can't break the ice, and he's not meeting shit. And not only am I shy, but women are hunting me down to kill me because I'm shy. Okay? Imagine that one. Okay? If you don't think that I had every hurdle known to man and still do thrown at me just to stay breathing, you're insane. Okay? I have a crush on Corey Bixby. I'm too shy to talk to her, so she asked me to drive her home. I do nothing wrong to her, and people are sent after me to basically have me killed for the rest of my life because she didn't get the perfect ride home, which nothing happened. Maybe I pushed on a gas pedal 1 millimeter too much for a tenth of a second or something, and they act like I pulled her aside, ripped her out, and raped her 100 times. And this goes on from every person or woman in my life, and that's while being shy or having a hard time approaching or walking up to women. Okay? If you don't think that I've had it difficult and harder than shit known to man for anyone, you have to be fucking crazy and insane. Now, I never held anything against my brother. I loved my brother until I found out what he was involved in. My point is that Mr. 4.0, I get everything I want in life, is sitting there running around, to the entertainment industry. Oh, poor me. Oh, poor me. Jason's pain. Jason's pain. I'm poor me. I'm a urologist with an MD. I've had women in my life my entire life. I have everything. Oh, poor me. Jason's pain. Right? And it's like, did I totally fucking miss something? So this little fucker who's sending his friends after me to make me mentally ill and put me in a mental institution with these Adolf Hitler tactics since a young child is claiming that I'm the one bullying him as we grew up and all these things. I'm the one doing all these things to my brother, the 2-year-old younger brother. Wait a minute, time out here. Did I totally fucking miss something? This guy has exerted every resource known to man and redefined history in hunting his younger brother down and killing him, all with the excuse that at 8 years old I supposedly bullied him. Yeah, right. I'm just a bully who's bullying my older brother. Bullshit. He's a lying piece of shit. He's running around holding me underwater as long as possible. He's flicking me in the air over and over in hopes he can make it look like I try to kill him. He's I think he's like squatting on my face with his ass or something. I mean, look, first of all, I'm not going to say these aren't brotherly types of things. They are. But they made it an issue when they made it an issue. I never made it an issue. I never ran around saying, oh, poor me, oh, poor me. Do you understand what I'm saying? My brother's running around saying that I'm coming after him and I'm bullying him and all. I never said a fucking thing. I never said anything about anything. I had no clue what was going on. I was 29. I love my brother. I'm friends with some of his friends. Boom. We're hunting you down to kill you. It's your fault, Kevin. Wait, did I totally miss something? I've tried to kill you over and over, according to my brother. I've tried to stab him. I tried to kill him by driving too fast in the car with him. Oh, poor him. Oh, poor Jason, the man who has everything in life, is sitting there crying that his younger brother, who has nothing and has said nothing about it, and has sucked it all up and said, no matter how hard life is, I'm going to pull it all together and I'm going to accomplish my dreams and this and that, showing that I'm the true good person. And I'm not running around saying, oh, look what Jason did to me 10 years ago. Look what Jason did to me 20 years ago. He's doing it to me, and when he's doing it to the world. He's spewing out lie after lie to the world. I tried to kill him. I tried to do this to him. I tried to do that to him. He's a fucking nut job. Okay? So why is he mad at me? I can't answer the question why Mr. I Have Everything is so mad at Mr. I Have Nothing. That he's working with the police, government, NSA, FBI, my family to fucking eradicate me, have me killed. It is like, it's a complete Twilight Zone. But what I can tell you is that up until 29 or later, until I figured everything out, I loved the guy. He was my brother. I thought he was the greatest person. And I never held anything from childhood against him from the stupid things. Even Darren Moselle holding the knife up to my throat while they make their little movie Psychos going, let's make him the fifth member of the Bee Gees, whatever, in their little Psychos movies they were making with me in it. Whatever. Could not give a flying fuck. Was never thinking about it. Couldn't care about it. Until I found out what they were doing. Trying to make me look crazy and remove me from society. So, I'm about to end this. I think I've pretty much gone through everything. I'm just trying to think of any last thoughts. This was about the Jason Perelman. We have a bug in your room and we're listening to everything you do on the radio. You try to turn me into a violent, make me look like a violent paranoid schizo. You can now understand the spoiled brat, I Have Everything brother is taking advantage of the weak and then trying to turn it around with Darren Moselle and the entertainment industry, riling them all up against me. Worldwide defamation, slander, police, government, you name it, and pretending that he's the victim, right? Mr. I Have Everything is the victim. Kevin Perelman at 8 years old is bullying. Kevin is bullying Jason Perelman, and Jason just couldn't take enough of it, right? That's his little story, right? And they're gonna tell writers in movies to write these things into movies to try to brainwash me and make me think that I did horrible things to Jason, my brother. No, it's the other way around. I did absolutely nothing to my brother. He's a lying piece of shit who preys on the weak, is systematic in his thought processes, is angular in his thought processes. In other words, everything I do is random and out of I love you and you're my brother, and it's how do I say it? It's sporadic, right? All of my interactions with people who are my brother and family are sporadic and random, and all of my family's interactions and the people they've sent after me are all systematic, premeditated, and calculated. Do you understand? That is a criminal mind versus someone just trying to live their life. Someone that's trying to live their life doesn't scheme and plan things out. They just live their lives. But in my family, everything's planned out and schemed to get the result they want to get. Right? Kevin, I got you a job at Star Auto House Mercedes, and with Gabby Angle using the names as schizophrenia tactics, showing me horror movies. My brother's showing me horror movies to try to make it look like I'm a violent murderer and a psychotic, where people are following me around, mad at me for watching horror movies when I was a kid. Okay, well, why are people mad at me for watching horror movies as a kid? Who the fuck would care? You get the idea? It's not about horror movies. And then as Kevin conforms the movies, the next premeditated, systematic, we have to tell the world on propaganda systems. Well, all the things I'm talking about are things that criminals do. Okay? If I don't like you or trust you, I don't invest billions of government dollars telling the world that guy's crazy, a crazy murderer. Right? Do you understand my point? That's what a criminal does. If I believe that you're a crazy murderer, I don't talk to you. That's what I do. If my family believes Kevin Perelman's a crazy murderer, they go to the psychology community, NSA, FBI, and invest billions of dollars to poison the well before I ever meet someone, have a friend, or anything else to control the situation. But there is no situation. There's no crime. If I had committed a crime, I would be arrested for the crime. If I'm a serial killer, I would have killed 100 women. Okay? But 100 women haven't been killed, nor has one woman. Therefore, no crime has been committed. Therefore, nothing being done to me is justified. Why? Because the Constitution of the United States says that we are all free people until we do something. Okay? There's no I don't trust you crime. And that is the point. If Kevin Perelman, the best person known to man, has been the nicest person everyone in his life and gone above and beyond everyone in his path, and this is happening to me, do you think that you are safe? Trust me, when these assholes are calling me an asshole, let me tell you, they don't know what an asshole is, and they've redefined the term asshole. And when they say Kevin Perelman is an asshole, that applies to like one hiccup across 40 years, okay? But going around with worldwide murder systems to kill someone since 5 years old, that's not an asshole. That's not someone who fits the Adolf Hitler mass genocide personality. Those are good people. Wait, or is that wrong? Because last I checked, the Constitution of the United States keeps us all safe from fucking psychotic murderers with opinions that have no self-control, that say, I think that person's a serial killer, and we're going to hunt them down and kill them, even though they've done absolutely nothing at all to anyone, ever. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you take the Constitution out and turn it into toilet paper, none of you are safe. Although none of you give a shit. Why? Because you're out living your lives and you're all fat and happy, and you don't realize that what can be done to me can be done to any of you at any moment. You go out on a date and you blink wrong, the next thing you know, you could be hunted with an enemy of the state like Kevin Perelman and tortured to death in inhumane, unfathomable, inflicted mental pain, something that you can't fathom or imagine. Well, people sit there and laugh at you and kick you in the skull over and over until you're dead and gone, while you're sitting there bleeding to death across. Okay, well, ironically here, I was finishing up like the last thoughts and the final sentence, and my SD card filled up. So now I have to sort of rephrase the last sentence for a whole new SD card, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I think my point was that if this can happen to me, this can happen to any of you. None of you are safe. It's not about I don't trust you, I don't like you, I think that you might not like black people or Asians or this or that. It's all irrelevant. Crazy. Like I said before, they're all labels. They're pointless. If you don't like someone, you don't understand someone, don't be around them. If someone has an opinion, whether it's harmless, whether it's different, take it in or don't take it in. Whether you think you want to be around them, you have that right to judge. What you don't have the right to do is execute. Okay? I don't like you, I'm going to kill you. I don't like you, so I'm going to torture you. I don't like you this. But you do have the right to judge. Because if you don't have the right to judge or opinions, then what are you? A mindless drone told what you have to believe in, eat, do? Okay? So when people are feeding everyone this information about me, ironically, nobody's thinking for themselves. the first question that anyone should, the first question or the first thought that should go through anyone's mind about Kevin Perelman is, why is this information illegally being disseminated about him? It's that simple. That answers anyone's question. There's a man walking around the planet with billions of illegal government dollars invested on him to torture and kill him and give the world every lie, smear, defamation, slander known to man, to create enough chaos to kill him in such a way that you off him in a clean, no loose end type of way, and no questions are being asked. Why am I getting this information this way? Right? It doesn't even matter what the information is. Why is a police officer going from door to door, proverbially going from door to door, notifying that Kevin's a crazy man and needs to die? Obviously, they're not literally going from door to door, but they're using the internet as a murder weapon to notify the world about me that I'm a crazy man and needs to die. Well, think about that. Nobody would do that unless they're a murderer that wants to kill someone. Okay? Nobody. Especially with the billions of dollars that Sean Dinsey's running around. You parked 1.5 inches in a red 2 weeks before he's going to court. Or 2 weeks before I'm going on the stand, which he's on the case. Right? I mean, think about it. These are all common sense things. Okay? Showing the police corruption and we have something to hide. I'm the only one that's being honest. You order those court transcripts. You read those court transcripts and you will see, okay, that I am the only one being honest. And I'm going to leave it at that. That if I am such an asshole that fits the asshole death sentence crime, then I'm probably not really an asshole. Does that make sense? And you can apply that to all these situations because none of them make any sense, but we want Kevin dead for what he knows, and before that we just wanted to remove him from society based on every psychological label pulled out of someone's ass, out of, what's the real reason? Hate, rage, jealousy, I can't tell you, but it has nothing to do with crimes, it has nothing to do with psychology, it has nothing to do with anything, but I don't like that guy, something like that, okay? And I don't like that guy starts at 5 years old. Now, when you have some government official or police officer going, I don't like that 5-year-old and I'll be watching you for the rest of your life, we got serious issues with our judicial system, our government, our constitution, and it's like I just said, no one is safe, okay? Police are only supposed to step in your life when crimes are committed and when there's enough probable cause to investigate the crime. So, for example, some angry mother saying, my kid threatened my life or something like that, I'm just guesstimating here. The cops aren't going to hunt down the kid for his entire life. The cops are going to go, I don't see a fucking threat. What are you talking about? Did he swing a fucking, did he grab a chainsaw and start chasing you after with it or anything? No. Okay. Well, there's no fucking issue. And I guess I could say even if he did start following you around with a chainsaw, he's not doing it now, so why are you following him from place to place? You know, I'm just sort of thinking of theoreticals so you understand the reality of the situation is that anything that's being done to me isn't making any sense, right? And then, since it's a double standard, when I go to the police with the actual video footage of the crimes against me, they don't want it or care. Okay, so once again, everything the police have been told about me is hearsay, fiction and fantasy, and they're hunting me down with billions of dollars. And everything I have is video proof and evidence, black and white, non-disputable, and they don't want any of it. How do you explain that? Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. because I think I've just made my point based on common sense, who's being truthful and who's not, and the fact that I've been forced into proving this on video and with video and photos, and what was done to me for that alone shows that I am the only one who has ever, for 47 years, been the one with nothing to hide, and have let everyone in my life, my entire life, not everyone, but let me put it this way. I accept everyone. You might not be on my inner circle. I might not even understand you. Example, I don't understand Obama. I don't know where the fuck that dude's coming from with his idealistic agenda of just pure insanity and weirdness. But I would still go out to lunch with him, and I would still gab about his beliefs and my beliefs and middle ground and this and that. Okay? So my point is that I may not like you, I may not understand you, you might not be in my life, maybe I'm uncomfortable around you, this and that, but it doesn't mean I have something against you or those people, right? If you understand what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not going to let everyone in my life, and nobody's going to let everyone in their life, but it doesn't mean the polar opposite, okay? So, once again, everyone has judgments, and that's how we work. You go out on a date, both people are judging each other whether they want to be around them the next time, okay? It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's how life works. And those who understand each other gravitate towards each other, I guess, unless you're in my life where the well's being poisoned your entire life since 5 years old, and you might want to ask Melissa Detweiler about that. Okay, so that's it. I'm tired. I hope I got my point across about music and radios, them using media to try to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo. Ironically, just like the movie Clockwork Orange, my father flipping out for buying him a harmless watch for one of his birthdays before 30, which shows why he's so defensive. The police break-ins because I have so much incriminating attempts, because I have so much incriminating evidence against these 40-year murder operations, and everything else. And until the next Blogger Diary entry, and you get the idea. Oh, and before I cut this short, I'm gonna eat a cookie. So don't try to kill me for eating the cookie crime.